Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the stream, man. How are we doing today? Hopefully you lot had a good weekend. Let me turn that down a little bit. That's a bit loud. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Did you get up to much? Did you get up to much? Today, guys, we're back in Terra. Gonna be, well, beginning / begunning chapter 12, because we did start it, but then we decided to do what the Firelight casts side story. I did decide to finish that off stream yesterday. I will be honest, I've got to be blatantly clear here. Skip the last little bit of the story. I am planning to go back and read it, right? I just had a bunch of stuff to do yesterday, and I got it wrapped up though. I did some of the challenge stages as well, which I want to go back and do all of them. I've done most of them. I want to go back and do all of those. But I really enjoyed it. As I say, I haven't got the end, but I enjoyed it. Yeah. I think so far out of the side stories for me personally, again, the ending might change things, right? Yeah, I know, I'm turning into Skybird, man, skipping the story. The ending might change things, but out of what 3 I've done now, Granny and the Knight's Treasure, Dark Knight Memoirs, and this, I believe that's all the side stories I've done. I think it might have been the one I enjoyed the least. Oh, that's not that I didn't enjoy it, right? If I just had to put it in order, I'd probably say Dark Knight's #1. I just really enjoyed Granny. I think it's probably because it was my first side story. So yeah, I pulled a Skybird at the end. Well, I enjoyed the event. It was fun. Final boss was fun as well. I went back and pulled out a bit of an old school team with the boss clear. Because I want to just keep like Tragodia and certain units for when we're stuck, right? You know. So we went back, whipped out. You know, we had Matterhorn in the team. Man, I was even running some with like Melantha and stuff. It was a good time. We had Jessica in. We had Cruz in. We got Meteor in the squad. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was good. It was good. It was good. Classic Brit hating on the Irish. Alright, let me get chat up properly so I can see what you guys are saying. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Yo, Ducklord, welcome. Casual. I know, right, dude. The only thing that I've got to look forward to today is United play. But I say look forward to. They're probably just gonna piss me off again. Not even gonna get into it. Not even gonna get into it. Gilgamesh, yeah, we fell off, man. We fell off. Yeah, I've not 2 minutes late. I was like 45 minutes late today. It's an issue. We've got some things to discuss with Endfield as well. We've got an end date for the beta. I also want to go over a couple of things. I don't know whether I need to get deeper in though first before I really make the video I want to make. But we might just discuss some of those things today. I need to boot up the game to quickly show you, well, quickly just reference something and then talk about some Twitter posts from Arknights Endfield as well. I want to check the website as well, actually. Let me just get that up a second. So I'm curious to see if we have any posts on the website as well. So I'll check that out as well in a second. Yeah, let me get back to chat. Flicks, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Sanju, welcome. Vast, welcome. Minman, Frankie, welcome to the stream. Mr. Comment, welcome. BVN, welcome. Yo, Dead how's it going, dude? Welcome to the stream. Dagger, hello. Was Shawcone Duo on the team again? I did have Pinecone in the team for a little bit actually. And she claps because like that's just those sages, especially that red one's obviously like physical's a good one to go with. You only need to really deal a bit of arts, aren't you, to the car. But yeah, Pinecone was in for a little bit, but just a little bit of reduced range, I decided to switch her out, and I had Jessica in, I had Meteor in, and I had Cruz in as well for that extra little bit of range. Like it was nice. Pixie's a Tara hater. I suppose it's canonical, right? jokes. But yeah, guys, welcome. Big Sam has no right to critique Firelight story. Skip a bad. Yeah, for the part of the story that I read up to, right? Like I say, I read up to, I think it was the last 2 story nodes that I haven't gone through. While I was at the gym today, I was listening to somebody reading it, but unless you got the phone in front of me, it's a bit hard because I don't know who he's voicing it sometimes, you know what I mean? So, I'm going to just go back and read it myself. I thought I could try and listen to it, but it wasn't quite working. Unless I do it after, maybe, while I'm watching the football. But even then, I don't know if I'll be able to do that. Because I might just play a bit of Endfield while I'm doing that. But, yeah, as I say, I think stage mechanics-wise, pretty simple. I think it could get quite fun with some of the stages, depending on, you know, like certain units that set fires and trying to stop the fires, or just deciding to try and brute force through the fires sometimes. That was quite fun. Really though, I'd say mechanic-wise, just all right, right? Nothing groundbreaking. Story-wise as well, up until where I got to was, I think it was just expansion, right? It wasn't, as I say, it wasn't anything magnificent for me personally. It wasn't like taking anything to a new level. It was just giving you a bit more context on stuff, wasn't it? A little bit more on Breed and her journey, if you will. So, you know, I'm not mad at that at all. I'm not mad at that at all. I enjoyed it. Yeah. I don't think I've really had a story yet that I haven't enjoyed, and that's throughout the main game as well. As I say though, I think Arknights, Granny, and then this, if I had to list my three side story experiences. So yeah, it could be a new bedtimes. That's what I was kind of thinking. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. Jacob Maru's story narrations are great. That's who I think that's who I was watching actually. I think it was him. As I say, because I was at the gym, it was a bit difficult to know who he was narrating at times. So I was like, wait a minute, is that Reed talking to Chen there? Is Chen talking to somebody else? You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm gonna go back and go through it because I want to appreciate it all. And obviously, the ends of the stories are usually the crescendo, right? It's like walking out the cinema at the twist at the end, or leaving in the last few minutes in a game for the equalizer to come in the 90th minute. You know what I mean? It's like I've got to go back and do it. I've got to go back and do it. So yeah. Babylon Lone Trail is probably my two most anticipated side story future. Yes, that's really now, for the most part, just out of being able to get everything done. I'll probably have majority of the side stories off stream for one. I think for the majority of people, they're not as interested, especially some of the older stuff as well. And it gives me a chance then to be able to concentrate on other stuff in stream, to get this back catalogue through as well. Although, you know, we're covering other games, we're doing news videos, I'm doing my normal content as well as the streams, you know. We've got Endfield at the minute, which I'm going to be bashing this week. We're going to be streaming that tomorrow daytime as well, so look out for that. Because, as I say, I want to get a little bit further. I want to advance my base a little bit to experience a little bit more of the base building. Because I must admit, I said before, right, like, I can enjoy a bit of base building, but I'm not like a Factorio, Satisfactory, whatever the fuck you want to reference base building, factory building game here. I'm not like a connoisseur of it, right? Oh, I was like playing a bit yesterday, man. I was like, it was becoming cathartic, man. I was getting into it, you know what I mean? I was like, ooh, I like this. I could see myself spending a few hours trying to make everything efficient. Like, my base isn't efficient at the minute because I was just trying out some stuff, playing around with things. But at the minute, I've just got an infinite book flower production, you know, and creating the medicines from it as well. It's just nice, you know, when you start building those systems up and then you get it on the loop and the plant begins the seeds and then growing the plants from the seeds and then generating medicine from those and then siphoning other bits off back into the system and it all goes round again. It is actually enjoyable, and the base system does work pretty smooth as well. If I'm honest, it does work pretty smooth. Works pretty smooth. But yeah, as I say, I do want to make a video talking about things that I want to see on launch in Endfield as well. But yeah, is there any reason why you haven't touched a walk in the dust before tackling new chapters? Just time, dude. It's just time. I'm gonna go back and do certain side stuff, but if it's not like massively pertinent to the main story, you know, Cammy, 0.2% to the top viewers. Let's go. Yeah, we've got what? If we're lucky, March now in terms of waiting for Endfield. Well, say if we're lucky, I want it to come out as soon as possible, but in terms of time, right? You know what I mean? I've got chapter 12, 13, 14, 15, we've got to get through all of that. We've got Babel, we've got Lone Trail. Babel and Lone Trail are two pretty huge reads as well, aren't they? So yeah, I've got a lot to get through, and we've not got much time. And also, we've got other games as well, you know, like new games come out, so I'm going to be trying them out. And we've still got Limbers to get back into as well, which I want to, which I'm hoping to, like, before Christmas. I'm just going to say, I keep saying this week, next week, it just never happens. Because it's just been a bit of a mess recently, the streams have. Like, I'm trying to get back into some sort of a rhythm again. And that's the plan running up to Christmas now. I just want to know the release date for Endfield now. Because I just kind of want to say to Rosie, look, that week, you need to book it off work. All right? You need to book it off work. Because I'm going to be grinding. We're going to be doing some long streams when the game launches. It's been a bit of a mess since the beta drop. Just a bunch of stuff has gone wrong that I just haven't been able to stream as much as I would like to, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, at the end of the day, you know, there's still plenty. I do not want to stop playing the game at the minute. But I also, you know, how I've said about the story and stuff. I said I was going to try and ignore the story, and I've kind of been ingesting the story. I'm probably going to start to ignore the story a little bit now in the game. And I get it. From a CC point of view, I can't then offer the critique and the survey information of this needs to be better with the story. But I just really want to enjoy it on launch, you know. So I guess that's a bit of an issue. But I do think the initial couple of hours need some work. But I don't think that's going to massively change. Maybe that's something that can change later on down the route. I don't know. But yeah, man. Shall we, oh, guys, there's a collaboration happening with the gacha game with my favourite game of all time. And it's a game that I've never even played, right? And I'm sad. I'm like, bro, why can't it be a game that I like and I play? You know, I could have been like Reverse or something, or whatever. I don't know, but we'll talk about that in a second as well, because, when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, you know? So, yeah. Alright, let's do it. Let's get started. I'm far behind you and I need to catch up. What chapter you on now? Oh, we ain't got stream shut up, have we? I'm still waiting for that Limber stream. I know, bro. I know. I need to get to it, man. I need to make it happen. I do need to make it happen, man. Yeah, guys, if you haven't already, drop a like on the stream. Let people know we're live. As I say, we're going to try and get back into a schedule now. Get the daily streams back on the go, because we've been so inconsistent of late. But it's just been an unnecessary evil, you know? Unnecessary evil. Limits is an interesting story, but kind of boring gameplay. I actually kind of like the gameplay, I do. I'm not going to lie. I do kind of like the game. Do you know another game? It's not gacha, but I've been meaning to check it out. A few people have been asking me to do it. And as somebody who just really thought, oh yeah, that's it. You chapter 8, yeah. I remember now watching. Yeah, have you still on JT83? As somebody who found it the most overgassed game of the year, DNA, I'm talking about. And although I played the game when it first came out and never really got into it, a few people have been saying you should check it out, go back to it. So I am actually going to go and play Warframe as well. Now, I know most people won't be interested in that, but I just want to check it out, man. I want to check it out. I want to frame and reference, right? Because I do plan to go back to DNA. 1.1's coming, right? And I want to see the peak that everybody kept talking about, right? I don't think I'm ever going to be a believer in the gameplay, or at least the 1.0 gameplay. But I want to give myself some reference, right? So I can be like, okay, you know, what's the deal? Why are people gassing this game up, right? Is it just that people are so, I don't know, well, it's not gacha addiction, right? Is it just that I need an anime game, you know? Because I'm seeing those conversations happen so much recently. And I get it. Fatigue happens with gacha systems, right? Have people been like, I need to get away from the gacha space. But then, like, the move to, like, gacha adjacent games or games that were gacha and stuff. And I'm just like, maybe just try some non-anime games, you know? Maybe, you know what I mean? I think you might, I think you might have a good time. Gameplay can be subjective. It does require a lot of reading. Yeah, true. Enjoy the stuck at chapter 8. It's a skill issue you can grow on. Yeah, I'm waiting to attempt it on stream. I think you'll get it going, man. You'll get it going. It is one of those, man. Like, it's, at least for me, anyway. It was a stage that, like, you can go back and watch. I think we did it. Was it over 2 streams? We started here at the end of a stream. I think it ended up being like 3 streams in total, but it was like 2 and a bit streams, if I remember. We started at the end of one stream. It was an entire stream, the next one. And then we finished on the 3rd. I believe. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But, yeah, it's one of those stages, man. You really, just from getting your cheeks spread, right? It's one of those. You just get your cheeks spread, and that's what learns you. Like, that's what it was for me. You know, just keep getting pressed, and then it's like, it was like R88 for me. It's one of those stages where, you know, you start to get one part of it, and then it's all right. Okay, we've got that locked down. Let's move forward. It takes a while. Like, first few attempts for me was just getting battered and being like, I don't know where we go from here. It's the beauty of this game, though, for me. I love that feeling of those first few stages, and you just get steamrolled, and you're just like, what do I do here? And then you start to like, okay, I know what I got to do, but I still can't do it. And then it's just building from there, right? Just building from there. Yo, Anton, what's going on, dude? Welcome to the stream. Loot boxes are gacha. True. I just the anime while you play a Western game. Wants to leave gacha behind, but can't leave behind the one. I think that's why, like, because yeah, I see so many people like him. Like, I'm just done with gacha games, and I'm like, then like, their move away from gacha games is playing DNA or Where Winds Meet, which is fine, whatever, you know, have at it. I'm like, so many games out there, man. I think it's maybe the anime adjacent. I don't know, Where Winds Meet. It's not an anime game. It's a whooshy game. You know what I mean. No, you know what I mean. No. Playing Warframe is like trying Arknights for the first time. You have years of free content. Yeah. I played it when it first came out, and I just never really got into it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I want to give it a go again. You get that again in chapter 15 for sure. It was so good. I better throw my head against the wall till I beat it, left my house off, and eventually I'll catch on them. Yeah. It's one of those stages, like, even when you do, you start to get what you need to do, and then it's still difficult, right? Because it's one of those stages where, like, I ain't gonna spoil it for you, like, you know, well, at least for me, being E1, you know, timing, positional awareness is just so key on that stage. You know, redeploys, all that. It's like, it is a perfect stage in the sense of a lot of the things you've learned come together in that stage, and it's just about, right, remembering them and applying them. But the game also does it in a way that it's like, what I love about Arknights is that it's also a time constraint as well. Not in the sense of a timer, right? You know, but like, you know, with the way the stage works, it's just like, oh shit, I've got to act fast. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, I'm fucked. The off-banner all PP save his ass from Tallulah. Yeah, it was a big move. It was biggest plot armor for me. I'm still gonna go back and clear without all PP, actually. There's a bunch of stages. We are gonna do that at some point. We might do that as a stream, actually. That might be a stream. I think maybe when, I don't know whether to do it when we've caught up or do it after 12 or 13 and say, right, let's go back to the difficult stages, you know? Let's go back to, like, the Patriots. Let's go back to JT83. Let's go back to, R88, you know, let's go back to a bunch of these stages and try some restricted teams, you know, maybe, some specific niches, some specific restrictions. I kind of want to give that a whirl, actually. I do kind of want to give that a whirl. Fancy a cuppa today? I got an nice cuppa tea right here, mate. I'm ready to go. Not in a sense of time, I was sweet summer child. I was rewatching myself try it, and I think I might need to have some quick redeploy ops to sacrifice. You get... I don't want to say, because I don't know, influence you, what's it, but you're on the right path. Like, that is a genuine viable thing. I started doing that. Like, you do kind of need some sacrificial lamb, so to speak, and I did use some fast redeploys as well. But I also then moved on to like maybe having some units that kind of can do that, but without the fast redeploy, if that makes sense. I don't want to say too much. Just do the Hell Sages. I am going to go back and do the Hell Sages as well at some point. You gotta bear with me, man. I'm new. I'm still E1. Well, I'm not new anymore. I'm still E1. We do have some kind of crack teams now. Like, obviously, with some of the Hell Sages as well now, especially having units like Tragodia, you know? But like when I went through this event side story I made sure we did the entire story without having Tragodia. I did use him on one of the challenge stages, but we did the entire, and we beat the boss without him. You know, without any Lapiulta, without, we did have Monster, actually. We did have Monster. You know, I brought out Matterhorn and Cruise and all that, man. It was fun. It was fun. You know what I mean? It was fun. I do, yeah. Yeah, I've still got to do that with keeping the shield guards alive. To be fair, now, Tragodia would make that stage fucking easy, you know? Because for me, like, that stage was easy to clear, but, like, with my team then, right, it was really hard for me to attempt to keep those guys, because I just didn't have the range either with the squad I had at that point. So, yeah. I do want to go back and do that stage as well. And we need to do the secret ending as well for, Fuckface. Yo, Ark! What's going on? What's going on? Yo, Grim, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello, hello. So, we've got some stuff to talk about Endfield, guys. But before we talk about Endfield, can I just show you guys something? Can I show you guys something? Because I'm like happy, but kind of sad at the same time, right? Because where is he? It's just like, brother, where is he? Here we go. Here we go. Hold up. Hold the phone a second, chat. Hold the phone. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze, man. It's just brewing. It's brewing, chat. Let me switch scenes. It's fucking brewing. Guys, this makes me... Hold up. This here makes me so happy and sad at the same time. Because a gacha game... I think it's a gacha game anyway. I've never played it. Another Eden. Have you guys played it? I don't know. Let me know. Is it a gacha game? I'm assuming it's a gacha game. Is doing a crossover collaboration with my favourite game of all time. And I'm really happy to see that my favourite game of all time is still getting recognition. But it's like, bro, all the games I play, and none of them have decided to do a crossover with Final Fantasy IX. Like, how good would that be in fucking Arknights? Like, it would, because of the art style, it would be perfect, right? It'd be perfect in something like Reverse 1999 as well. And it happens in another Eden. I think I'm going to have to install this game just to play this crossover, guys, because this is, if you didn't know, Final Fantasy IX, my favourite game of all time. Favourite game of all time. I absolutely adore it. And what more can I say? It's my favourite game of all time, right? So I saw this on Reddit, so I haven't watched the trailer yet. Can we just watch the trailer so I can just bask in the actual amazing quality that is Final Fantasy IX? If you guys never got to play Final Fantasy IX, you are seriously missing out, because gem. Absolute gem. It just, for me, just quintessential, tippity top peak of the PlayStation 1 era, peak of the pre-rendered backgrounds and FMV sequences, when in a game, getting through a challenge wasn't about rewards of currency or leaderboards. The reward was that 15 to 30 second FMV cutscene. And oh my days, it was so sweet. It was like the best thing ever as a little kid, getting to that cutscene and just being like, oh, one day games are going to look this good. And now games look better than the FMV. So let's check this out then. Another Eden, Final Fantasy IX crossover trailer. I don't know what's in this. I saw it and I was like, I've got to check this out on stream. We've got to have Vivi. We've got to have Vivi as a playable character. We've got to have Zidane as well. It would be cool to have Steiner also as well, you know. So let's check it out then, guys. Let's have a look. Man, remember the days when it was Squaresoft? That's when Square was the goats. Right, Flyer Studios. Oh, they're right. Oh, my. Oh, shit. Okay. I thought for a split second then, was this the OG nostalgia glasses was on them? It looks like we've got some sort of cell shady, but we are in Alexandria. The goat. The goat. Oh, my days, boys. Oh, they're doing the whole... Wait a minute. Are they actually doing story bits from the... That bit there when they was on the cliff, was on the cliff when they're overhanging that village they get to where there's the mage, like, factory underneath, right? And then they had the bit when they first kidnap, Princess Garnet as well, right? Oh, this is amazing, boys. Hearing the voice as well. Oh, this is amazing. I've got to install these just to play. I've got to. The Lifer Tree, Chocobos. I mean, first time getting to the Lifer Tree, I was just, the visuals of this game are just burned into my memory. This looks so cool. We got summons as well. Queen Brain, sorry. They've done a real good job of the visuals, haven't they? The castles, what was it called in these now? Was there Eidolons in this? I think there was, wasn't there? Okay. Okay. I'm not even gonna lie, right? I don't think I'd even heard of this game in other reading, but I've got to say, from this, man, the respect to the title here, I'm loving it, right? They've got so many of the scenes, and obviously added their like sort of cell-shaded animation too, but some of them look almost seen frame for frame, right? Like frame for frame, some of these scenes. This looks amazing. This actually looks amazing. Dude. Like, I'd love a Final Fantasy remake, right? 9. But then at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if I would, because it's one of those things. It's like a moment in time, and I feel like if it got remade, it would just never really like live up to it. And I think it'd be a real, I don't know if they'd be able to translate the art style of this, because this game for me, it was a picture book, right? It was like a picture book game, wasn't it? It was like opening this fantasy book with these beautiful paintings within them. And I don't know how they'd managed to do that, because like Square now are so addicted to like super high fidelity stuff. I don't know how they'd I don't think they could give it like the Final Fantasy VII remake treatment. Do you know what I mean? Although like obviously that had a particular art style, but it works the way it looks now. This wouldn't, you know, seeing Zidane at like a normal proportioned height. You know what I mean? You know the style of the characters and stuff like that. They've got that sort of, it's almost semi-chibi almost, isn't it, in a way? And I don't know how they'd be able to translate it to the modern era, but this looks really, really good. I am gonna have to install this game, guys, because again, favorite game of all time. I just wish it was with a game that I played, man. Like if this was on like Reverse 1999 or something. Oh man, even Arknights. Damn, if it was with Arknights, I would be. Yeah. Just hearing that like at the start, man. This game gets me emotional. Like it does. It was my childhood, man. It was such a big part of my childhood. This game was. Final Fantasy in general was right. Like Final Fantasy 9. Final Fantasy 7 was a bit right, but an 8. Final Fantasy 9, 10. A little bit of 10 too, and then like 12 was great. 12 was great as well. 13, the Lightning series sucked balls in my opinion, but 9, 10, and 12, just a good time to be playing video games for me, man. So I'm so happy to see that a goated game is getting some love, right? Because you see all these games like Nier and they constantly seem to get collaborations with companies. It's like perfect IP to be thrown around here, and it's not used, and it's wild that it's not. Yeah, great to see that. So yeah, your boy is going to be installing another Eden because I've got to play this. I've got to play this, chat. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. Yo, Quasar, what's going on, dude? Welcome to the stream. Neo, welcome to the stream. Squire, how's it going? How's it going? CZN stream when? I do need to get back. I ain't played it for a couple of days, actually. I do need to get back around to it, though. My first introduction to Vivi was Kingdom Hearts. Oh, really? Okay. The FF lane motif making me tear up. It's so good, right? Echo, welcome to the stream. It was very special. It was, right. One of the few gacha survived its Persona 5 collab. In another timeline, modern FF games have cell shading, not realism. What game did not disappear? And that was 15, right? That was the boy band one, right? I never really played that properly, man. Played bits of it. I've got it. I started playing it again recently, but never got into it. The controls feel weird on PC as well. But yeah, 9 for me. 9 and 12. I'd say they're my two favourites. 10 was really good though as well, right? I think 10, the story in 10, for me, I don't know. I think at that age, I just wasn't that I didn't get it. It never resonated with me so much. But like this was a perfect time for me to be playing this this game. I needed that escape at that age, and it was like it offered me this perfect picture book fantasy world, and I fell in love straight away. Again, I just love to see more games nowadays, and I get it now with the way visual fidelity works. I'd love to see more games take use of the pre-rendered backgrounds and stuff. I think it's a good thing, like because Sword of Convalari and Brown Dust do that sort of stuff, don't they? I don't know if it's necessarily pre-rendered, but you know what I mean. But anyway, yo, Leo, what's going on, dude? Welcome to the stream. Easy, welcome to the stream. I could see a twinkle in Pixie's eye. Yo, T, I'm telling you, man, this game does it for me. Just as soon as I hear the audio in this game, it's just like, when you first start it and you're on the ship, the freaking, I forgot what the ship's called now. What's the ship called, chat? Come on, remind me. I know it's built in the Limbus dockyards. Limbus, freaking, shit, man. I'm going mind blank now. Anyway, the airship you start, the creaking sounds of it and that. It's just like, fucking great. Anyway, all right, let's move on because we've got some stuff to talk about. AK here, guys. All right, we've got some stuff to talk about with AK here. I think, which one's this one? We've got some stuff to talk about with Endfield. Let me get rid of that. We'll keep that open and have a look at that in a second. Okay. I want to get the game booted up as well because I just want to reference some stoof. I want to reference some stoof, and then we're going to get into Arknights, all right? Let me switch it in a sec. When you first get to like Bemacia and that, so good. Got 15 on my PS, but the entire thing looks like it's smeared in Vaseline, so it's hard to enjoy. Yeah, I did recently buy all the Final Fantasy games on Steam again. I got Final Fantasy 9 and Final Fantasy 8. I bought the standard ones and the new HD versions of them as well. Yeah, I got to play through 9 again. I got to. It's just made me think. I just want to get into the game. All right, give me a second here, guys, because I just want to reference something in the game. All right. Do you know what's funny though? This talk about the beta. It ain't longer, is it? It's not longer beta. The last one was the same length, right? This one's gonna be the same length. The fuck is that all about? I think it might be just some mistranslations, man. Do you know what I mean? What do I open Endfield? I need to just reference something here for a video. For video. Want to talk about something. Alright. Hold up a second. Why is this choked up? Oh, it's because it's full. I've made too much book flour. This isn't efficient, like, bro. I was just testing some stuff yesterday. Anyway, all right, let's have a little look at something here. Okay, right. So we've got some new Endfield information coming from the devs, but I just wanted to reference a couple of things as well before we get into talking about that. It's somewhat related, right? Okay, but obviously, if you didn't know, you probably do know, we've got an event started on the 12th. Well, we've got 2 events started on the 12th, actually, for when the PlayStation test starts, the PS5 test starts. That starts on the 12th as well, if you didn't know. And we've got 2 events coming to the beta, which is cool to see. One, I've got to be honest, I'm not that fussed about it, right? I just, hey, I've got to keep it a book. I have the same energy for all games, and when it comes to photo events, I couldn't give a fuck. All right, but we've got an event starting at 10 a.m. on the 12th, right? And this is going to be, looks like some sort of a combat event by the looks of it. And you're going to be able to get a bunch of stuff: marker perseverance, advanced cognitive carrier, arms inspection set, and proto-hedron. And the participation requirements are complete the main chapter mission, chapter 1, process 2, paving the way to unlock the event, and authority level 40. And then it's the Umbral Monument Challenge with 1 series containing 3 stages. Each stage is divided into normal and agony mode. So we've got a normal and a hard mode. Complete the normal mode to unlock the significantly more challenging agony mode. So hopefully we got some difficult content. Complete every stage of a series in normal mode to an engraved medal, and then you get a better medal when you do the agony mode as well. There's one thing I wanted to point out here though that's missing in the rewards, which is interesting because it can kind of be a double-edged sword, right? And that's no pool currency, where you'd be like, oh, no pool currency. That kind of blows because this game in the beta form doesn't really have the most pool currency. Let's be honest, right? It has to be better on launch, and this is what I kind of wanted to reference this because it has to be better on launch. Otherwise, myself, I'm gonna have a bit of an issue with it anyway, right? But we've got this one here, which is a photo event that starts at the same time on the 12th as well. Which again, I couldn't care less about photo events, right? I'll do it because we get pool currency in this one. So we got Carly's Fairy Tale. So during the event, complete the camera challenges to earn events that include Carly's Fairy Tale, Portrait Frame, Orables, and Marker Perseverance. So a lot of people say, oh, the fact that there's no pool currency behind something that maybe some people might not be able to clear, although I think most people will be able to clear, could say that's good, then I'd like the idea of just getting some extra currency would be cool. But there's a part of me that's like, if there's no pool currency in the event, right, especially in a combat event, does that mean the devs are forced to make the event actually good, right, in this Umbral Monument? Because a lot of the time when it comes to events in gacha games, right, the events themselves can kind of be trash throwaway events, right? As long as there's a good bit of pool currency at the end of the event, a lot of people will just be like, whatever, I got myself my pools, I can deal with it, right? But I think if there's no pool currency in a combat event or a potential story event or whatever the event might be, right, a challenge event, whatever you want to call it, if there's no pool currency, there's kind of a bit more onus to actually make it worth bothering with, right? Because if there's no pool currency and it's not great, nobody's going to interact with it, right? So that's an interesting fact to me, but I will be honest, with the fact of how little currency we get in the beta, it would just be nice to know that events are going to be a good source of getting currency, because I'm okay with the game launching if it doesn't have the best in-game currency, but events kind of offset that, right? If events and endgame offset the in-game pool currency, alright, cool. We're still able to get them by playing the game, right? But it's a little bit worrying, that is, I'm not going to lie. But you can get them from this, and you're just going to go around, take pictures. You know, it's a camera event, right? So we're getting pool currency from that, but not from the Umbral Monument Challenge. So I just wanted to bring that up because we do have a post from the developers over on Twitter, right, guys? So I don't know what this is here. It says ending soon. I don't know why they open it up with that, because wild, right? You look at this and you go, brother, I thought the beta was going to be the longest ever beta. Ending soon. It's not right away. It's on the 29th of December. But that means I think this beta is the same length as the last beta, I think, right? Because I'm pretty sure the last beta was, I think it was 32 days. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. I might be thinking about the original test. I don't know. But I'm sure it was. So, we've got the betas ending on the 29th, right? Which is shorter than the banner length, right? Because altogether, the banners was going to be, what, 45 days, 15 days a pop? So, it's hard to say whether the banners as well, is that the length of the banners when they come out? Or is that on launch, I mean? Or is that specifically for the beta? The fact that the beta ends before the banners would actually end makes me think that's probably what they're going to be on launch. I don't know. But anyway, let's have a look at this post here then. Arknights Endfield Beta Test 2 will conclude on December 29th at 2025 at 1 AM UTC 5-5. At that time, the game servers for this test will be shut down and you will no longer be able to log into the game. During the test period, we have received a great deal of feedback and suggestions through official community channels. Hopefully, to listen to this. I haven't filled out the survey myself, so I'm hoping you can still do that. I was going to wait until the end of the beta to do that personally, or I'll have to check, is it still available? I should have had a look just because it's something I wanted to get a bit more information myself before I put it out officially. There's critiques I want to talk about with the game, but when I'm officially sending it off, I want a bit more information before I do that, because obviously putting it in a video matters less than actually sending it off to the developers, right? So, channel surveys and customer support. We sincerely thank everyone for participating in the test and actively providing input. The project team will continue to refine the game and optimize the gaming experience with more new content already in development. Great to hear. Dev speak, but great to hear. Further game updates, please follow their official community and social media accounts. Please, again, thank you for your continued interest and support for Arknights Endfield. It's a weird time to post this, all right? You feel like this would be posted like the last few days of the beta. Like, it's still over 21 days away. And they're like, it's ending soon, guys. Thanks for coming. You know? So there's almost a month left in the beta. And they're like, yeah, let's wrap it up, boys. Let's wrap it up, boys. So we've got a DevCom here as well, which I wanted to go through. But I just wanted to reference a few things. This isn't like an in-depth what Arknights needs and what the beta's lacking and a review of the beta, because I haven't played enough of the beta to give it a review, right? There's a lot of people who are doing reviews on day one of the beta, and I just think that's kind of, how'd you do that, right? You haven't even got much of the information, right? So, do it after Wooling if it allows you. That's the plan. I want to at least get to Wooling, which time's just been a bit of an issue for me since the beta started. It's unfortunate I haven't been able to play it as much as I've wanted, but I played it enough to know that I still love this game. Combat, brilliant. Team building, the potential seems amazing. I love the fact that this game really encourages experimentation with your team building. And you actually have to read kits here, because if you don't, you're not going to be getting the most out of this game. The combat can go from kind of being really slow and not much happening if you're not building the right team, to actually being fucking cracked and fun as fuck, right? Really enjoyable, incredibly impactful, and just super satisfying in my opinion. So combat-wise, I'm fine with, right? But I suppose this is related to combat. At the moment, all we've got in the game is kind of that extraction mode, which it's cool, right? But my worry is, we're talking about pull currency in the game. I think it's a genuine worry for this game, right? People will talk about the gacha system. That, for me, it's not an issue, really. Personally, at least. Anyway, I don't have any major issues with the gacha where I'm like, right, they've got to overhaul that. But I do have a worry that we're not going to be getting enough pulls in the game, because if the beta's anything to go off, it's going to be slim pickings on launch. Now, of course, on launch, we're more likely to have events and more content to access, so more pulls will probably be available, right? But if this is what we're supposed to be expecting in the honeymoon phase, it's a little bit low, right? It's a little bit low. And that's a problem. I've said it about other games, right? The gacha system itself can be the best in the world. If the game's tight, don't matter. If they've got the worst system in the world and the game's really generous, you've got a pretty good fucking system on your hands, if you ask me, because it don't matter, because you're able to access as much as you possibly can because the game's really generous. So far, we haven't really got that. And we've got like one kind of end game. We're getting 2 events, but only one of them's going to give us pull currency, which again is a double-edged sword, because it's like, ooh, that could mean I have to really work on the events, but it still literally means less pulls, which is a problem, right? No ways about this. If the game comes out with the pull currency we've got now, it's going to be a tough time for low spenders and free-to-play players, right? It really is. The gacha system's set up in a way that kind of benefits low spenders and free-to-play players. If there's no currency to be get on the game, it might almost be a worse system in a sense because of the way the spark system works. You're going to really struggle. You are going to have to really be picking and choosing, like being incredibly on top of that. Like, it's a good thing to do anyway. It's a good thing to get into, picking and choosing banners and making sure that you've got enough. But even if you're doing that, might be a little bit tight, right? Like where I've got up to in the game at the minute, I'm like 40 pulls in, which is kind of crazy. Now, I know I'm not as far as most people, but still, you know, it's a bit tight, and I think it's an important thing. Also, on launch, we've got to have 120 FPS plus. Give us unlimited frames. Give us 120. The game needs it. We've only got 60 at the minute. That might change, but the game looks gorgeous. It plays gorgeous, right? Please don't limit me to 60 FPS when I'm on a 4090 and a 13900K, right? I want to be able to play the game at 120 FPS. Give me a dedicated training room where I can go and play on test dummies, aggressive ones, static ones. So I can. This game is all about team building. Allow me to experiment in a controlled environment where I can set everything up and I can build those teams to the best they can be, and then go and take them out and take them into content as well. Going back to the end game stuff and round pools, we haven't seen it, right? Because obviously it's a beta, but I'm confident that come launch we are going to have something else to do at the end game, right? And then after a couple of months, we should have, I would hope, a couple of things to do, right? Especially coming from a company that has IS, right? You know, that has all of the stuff that you can do as endgame in Arknights. And I know it's a different game, and we've spoke about these, and we've got to expect different things, but I would at least hope that philosophy will transfer into Endfield, because otherwise, as I say, it doesn't matter if you're not getting pull currency then, because if you're not getting characters, who cares if there's no content to use them in, right? Which, as I say, I'm quite confident that we're going to have plenty of content to use in, but it's just, you know, we can only go off what we've seen so far in the beta, right? And I think these are genuine issues, right? Not enough pull currency. What's endgame looking like? Are we going to have more? Are events going to give us a good, flow of currency as well? Because I think it's important, right? I'm okay with the game being kind of meager in what it offers you if they balance it in events. Then it makes events awesome, because if you have good events and they give you a bunch of pull currency, happy days. It's all good, right? It's all good. Also, at the minute, I think this is going to be something that's on launch, right? Keybinds. Give me as much customization as I can possibly get, right? I want all of that. I'd also love it as well. I don't know if I'll ever get it. Bringing the Arknights thing of having everybody being able to speak different languages all at once, that'd be kind of fucking awesome. I don't know if they'll do that, but it'd be kind of cool. Even if it's not in the cutscenes and it's just in game. I don't think that's in the game, right? I don't think that's in the game. Yeah. Honestly, Deck will get 120 FPS option to PC. Best I can imagine, 120 FPS exclusive app. Really? Dude, if they do that, I'll be crashing out, man. I'm telling you now. I will be crashing out. I'll be crashing out if the pull currency is terrible as well. And I'll tell you what, I'll be crashing out, chat. Right? I'll be crashing out. You saw that camera event, right? I'm okay with a camera event if it's nestled in between a bunch of other cool events. If you hit me up with 50% of my events for a patch is camera events, crashing out. All right? I'm crashing out. Okay? I just want to put that out there. The switch between language and English dub like they're doing OG Arknights. Okay. All right then. So yeah, that's just a few things that I'd like to see just from my experience so far, right? I think a good criticism, or a fair criticism that a lot of people have had as well about the tutorials. I think they are, I don't know if they are a little bit handholdy, especially the first set of tutorials. They get a little bit better after that. They don't hold your hand so much. But the first ones do it a little bit too much, right? A little bit too much. I think they need to dial that down a little bit. I like the fact that they've tried to introduce the factory into the story and connect it, so you feel like you're having to involve yourself in the factory via the story. I think the way they've gone about it now, though, I think they have maybe hampered the storytelling just a little bit. I think it's maybe dragged things down just a little bit, if I'm honest. those first few hours, I had a blast with, right? But I'm incredibly biased because I love the game. But I could definitely see if I took my unbiased hat off, this will filter a lot of people. It will. If you're not into Endfield off the bat as much as I am, and coming from, well, I came from Endfield into Arknights, but I've got a love for the world now, right? And the lore and all that. And I know it's a different game, but it's allowed me to ignore some things that other people wouldn't be able to ignore. And I think that's a thing that people won't be able to ignore, if you ask me. Because, like, once you start being allowed to do stuff for the base building, the way everything's set up in the base building, right, and you can check your build chains and everything and how everything connects together, the tutorials themselves aren't really necessary, but then they are, because some people do need that, like, level of hand-holding, right? And I'm not going to lie, plenty of times in games, a game will tell me, connect A to B equals C, and then I'll be like, what? We all do it, right? So it's a hard one, right? I think it needs to be there, because if not, that could filter people. If there's too much of it, that can filter people. This is a game that's got so many systems that have the potential to filter people. I think they just need to tweak the balance just a little bit. I don't think it's going to be changed for launch how much it's interconnected with the story, but maybe they could just dial down the tutorials a little bit at the start. I think that would probably help a lot of people. But for me, it wasn't a big issue, if I'm honest. But let's have a look at this post anyway then. So, Arknights Endfield Beta Test 2, DevCom, Alt3, Dear Administrators, since the launch of Beta Test 2, our team has been gathering your valuable feedback through multiple channels, including surveys, customer support, and your community discussions. You've shared important opinions on early tutorials and progression flow, what we've just talked about, right, which I think is an important thing, and I think that's going to be a thing that might get tweaks, right? Whether it happens for launch, who knows, but at some point it will. Combat and stat design, gacha resource acquisition, which, again, I'm glad they've acknowledged this now. Like, we've just spoke about this, but this is important. Whether they rectify it is a different thing. But this is incredible. When you compare this to Stellasaur's launch, right? And everybody was screaming, would be nice if maybe the store prices were a little bit better, and maybe I can get a few more pulls. Not the actual gacha system, but those two things. And they were like, what? Yeah, no, we're not going to talk about that. So I do like the fact that it's mentioned. Doesn't mean they're going to fix it, but right, at least they've spoke upon it, right? At least they've spoke upon it, because it's an important factor for me. Probably the most important factor, if I'm honest. UI and visual presentation, which for me, I like. I like the UI in the game. The visual presentation is gorgeous as well. I've got no issues with that at all. As well as multi-platform compatibility and performance. And we'd like to express our sincere thanks to all of you. Yeah, for the most part, the game's performed well. I've had a few frame drops here and there when you're loading into areas and you first start playing. I think that's usually normal. It's a beta as well, so I can accept that. For the most part, though, even in deep bits of combat and there's a lot of stuff going on, game runs fine. Buttery smooth for me. But again, I'm on a 4090 and 13900K, so not exactly the typical setup, if you will. Every single piece of feedback carries your criticism and expectations for Arknights Endfield. From the moment the test went live, we began analysing player experience issues, and working on corresponding optimizations and adjustments. This is why it is good to be critical about the games you like, guys. And even on the gacha stuff as well, I disagree with some people's viewpoints that it's the worst gacha ever, but we need people putting out their opinions out there, because the devs listen to this stuff, right? I do believe they go around channels as well on YouTube and listen, posts on Twitter. Obviously, surveys and direct communication is better, but, you know, I believe they do this sort of stuff. But they obviously do, because I think it is kind of poignant that we've got little dodge in the game. I think that it's got to be, right? It's got to be the whole conversation about the dodge. Some of these improvements have already been completed on our end and are now internal verification and review phase. Okay. Some have been completed. What are those, Hypergryph? I hope it's gacha resource acquisition. I hope it's gacha resource acquisition and 120 FPS as well. But yeah, I glaze Hypergryph a lot, right? Because I think the way they've handled Arknights has been great. I do it a lot, right? But I'm also an adult, and I understand they are a corporation and they can fuck up. And who knows what the game looks like when it launches. And we might be back here in a few months going, they fucked it, boys. They screwed it up. They done fucked it up. But man, I'll be so happy if they fix this. And if they do, I'll swipe day one. I'll swipe day one. I'll say it right now. Day one swipage. if they fix the gacha acquisition. I'm going to say it here right now. If they do, I will be so happy because I think this is something that needs to change. And it was so good to hear that they've listened and saw that this is not good enough. So I really hope they have. Our team is continuously monitoring your feedback and discussions and thoroughly analysing both your survey responses and actual player data so we can identify effective solutions to address the issues you're facing. We have set aside dedicated development resources for experience tuning and will implement improvements one by one. Experience tuning, right? It's a small little, it is an experience tune, right, to upgrade the pool currency. No drastic changes, just give me more pools. Simple. However you do it, easy to do, easy to implement, right? One by one with full consideration for the balance between real-time experience and long-term gameplay. We've also put a long-term optimization mechanism in place to ensure that future versions of the game continue to see meaningful improvements to the experience, with the goal that every adjustment truly lifts the overall gameplay experience. Great to hear. I wonder if that means that maybe certain things that can't get ready for launch, that we might see some tweaks, you know? Some games have not been afraid in the past to potentially, like, rewrite stuff at the start. Now, I'm not expecting necessarily a story rewrite, but around the tutorials and stuff is what I'm talking about there. We'll keep listening to your feedback and remain committed to ongoing long-term optimization, meeting your expectations with convincing, high-quality game content. Thank you to all the administrators for your continued support and understanding. For more information about the game will be later communicated through our official channels. We look forward to joining you on your adventure in exploring Talos 2 in the very near future. So, with all that worry war talk out of the way, right? Because, you know, I suppose it's a little bit of a negative painted conversation in a sense. But with the beta ending on the 29th, what do we reckon to the launch? What do we reckon to the launch, guys? When do we think it's happening? Do you think it is going to be January, or do you think we're looking at March? I feel like January is a bit too early for me personally. Maybe I'm wrong, right? I said for me, my expectation was always probably March, right? The end of Q1. If we did get a beta, I thought it would probably be March. We have got a beta. I was right on that. I'm going to go with March. I think January might be just a little bit too early. I think January might be just a little bit too early because it's clear they've got some work to do on certain things, right? The game itself, it's cooked. And I don't mean it's cooked. I mean, it's the gameplay part of things, in my opinion, at least until we get additional endgame. Minus endgame and events worries, the gameplay itself, I think it's almost baked to perfection. Personally, it's almost baked to perfection. So I don't think they've got to worry about that. Now all they've got to worry about is tweaks to gacha currency. What's going to happen with events? Are we getting more endgame than we've got now? Which I hope to dear Lord we do, because I think for me, there's been a lot of expectations with the Arknights community of what this game's going to be. And we've saw through conversations since before this beta and since this beta started, some people expected this game to be something else. I have always not really had that expectation because I see the game to be somewhat different. But one expectation I really do want to see come over is the end game, right? I'm not expecting IS off the bat, right? But I want something that's going to give me the ability to keep going at it, to give me some challenge, to give me some reason to keep playing the game. That's not just grind for those few pulls, right? We're going to put timers in. We're going to artificially increase the difficulty to make it by teens. Give me something that has some replayability that I actually just want to play. Fuck the rewards. They're a bonus, but just give me something to just get into and get my teeth into that, right? So that's my main thing. The two things that I really from this beta that I will say that I want the most is more gacha resource acquisition in game, and they spoke about that. Great to hear. And then what's endgame going to look like? Of course, as I say, I don't think we've seen all the endgame yet because it's a beta, but I hope it's more than what the game offers at the moment. And I think we'll be in a good position, lads. I think we'll be in a good position. But yeah, again, great to see they're taking feedback. I love the fact that they've mentioned the gacha resource acquisition. It's just whether they'll fix it, right? Because at least we haven't got a Yosart situation on our hands, and they're like, what? See, big fucking thing with a trunk keeps bumping into me, but I can't see it really. But I'm sure it's in here, but I'm not going to mention it. So, great to see they've actually acknowledged that. Whether they fix it is a different thing. Beta ends on the 29th. We've got events coming up on the 12th. Hopefully they're good. Camera, whatever. Hopefully this Umbral Monument things, whatever it's called, is fun as well. Interesting to see there's no pool currency. We'll have to see what happens, right? We'll have to see what happens. But, yeah, I'd love to know what you guys think all about this. What are the things you want to see in the game when it launches? What's the most important thing to you? Or what's the worst thing about the beta that you want to see taken out, changed, adapted, improved upon on the game? Or what are you just hoping for on launch that's maybe not there right now? I'd love to know because, yeah, I think those are the two main important things for me. And then give me 120 FPS and give me a training spot as well to just build teams because I'd love to do that because I think Zenless does a good job of that. Give me something like that. I'd love that. But anyway, yeah, I'd love to know what you guys think down below. Let me know, guys. Let me know. But yeah, boys, what do you think? What are we thinking, lads? What do we think? The all-star situation is crazy. Yo, Renegade, what's up, buddy? I think we'll decide launch. I think they decide launch based off how much work they'll have to do from the feedback. Yeah. I think from a technical standpoint, I think they're fine, right? I think they're fine. I think the thing that could probably give them the most trouble in terms of implementation is if they literally go, shit, we need more endgame and we haven't got anything. That's the only thing I can think there. Or events are just looking meager as fuck on launch. Because like the gacha acquisition in game, getting pulled, all they've got to do is just dial up numbers from everywhere, haven't they? And just for the start, if it's an issue to add stuff in, just give your login like a month of login stuff and then be like, right, second month, okay, we've got everything fixed now and this is how you acquire more pool currency and stuff. But yeah, as I say, the stuff in the event, what do you think about that? What do you think that the Umbral challenge mode, at least it says includes, but it doesn't specify it, and the camera one does, about the pool currency not being there. Yo, Renegade, did I say hello to you as well? I think releasing between April to December next year. The release Endfield the same time with GTA 6. EOS 1 month after launch. But yeah, what do you guys think about that? Because like, it's like a double-edged sword, right? Because I look at it and I'm like, as I said just, if you take pool currency out of events, it makes developers create good events, right? Because they've got nothing to fall back on. Oh shit, man, this is going to be good because people are, you know. But I think even if the event's good, people are going to expect pool currency, right? So it's like, yeah, you know, I think their original plan might have been to keep the beta open for longer. I believe that as well, actually, Rosanju. I think that's a good point. I should have mentioned it just actually. I do think it's ending earlier than they were expecting because they did say it was going to be the longest beta, where it's not. Right, isn't it exactly the same length as the last beta? So I'm kind of confused there, like on that. So I think it probably has been cut short. And this is such a weird post, this one. Beta test 2 ending soon. When? 29th of December. Oh, okay, so 21 days. This is like the post you announce the day before the beta closes. And then you post this as well, like, brother, are you trying to stress me out? You know, what the fuck you doing? Like, why are you saying it like that, boys? So yeah, I think I somewhat agree. I think maybe they have decided to cut it short. Which could mean two things. As you say, they cut it short to focus on fixing some things, or they've cut it short because you could look at it two ways, right? They cut it short to fix stuff, or they've cut it short because they're like, you know what? I think we're ready to go, boys. We're ready to go. Who knows, right? Yo, Cheese, what's up, dude? Welcome to the stream. I was talking about this with Reldon and Ken yesterday. What about the events, T? Watch on my mum. I'm expecting it to be a combat event, yeah. I would love to see mixed languages like OG Arknights, but I don't know if it worked well. Yeah, that's what I was asking for earlier when me man says that's what's in the game. Is that in... It's like I want my character shouting out battle lines in English and Korean and Italian and all that sort of stuff when I'm fighting. I think they originally want to get this going for longer, but close it early since there's so much responses coming in. Good point. It might be. It's a really good point, actually. Welcome to the stream as well, Lance. So yeah. I know, right. It's dev speak, right? We all know it. I like Hypergryph, right? In terms of the corporate entities in this space. I think they're one of the better actors, right? And Uglaze. but I'm not stupid. They're here to make money. They don't give a fuck about me really as an individual, but I do think they're one of the better actors. And this here, it's all dev speak. It's all dev speak, right? Let's not beat around the bush. It's dev speak. The fact that they've just referenced the fact that they've referenced the gacha resource acquisition and recognised it quite high, you know, because really the major critiques since this beta started, other than I didn't get into the beta or it ain't Arknights, has been tutorials early on, right, and the feeling of it interrupting story progression as well. And then one of the other ones for the people who've played it, because I know a lot of people have been talking about the gacha system, but for the people who've played the beta, I think gacha resource acquisition's definitely been a thing that's all been there in our heads going, I don't really feel like I'm getting many pulls here, you know, I'm not getting a lot. I have at least anyway, and I've seen other people talking about it as well. So the fact that they're the two first things they speak about, obviously along with the combat and stat design, which for me, I like the combat, but the fact that that's up there as the first few things to talk about for me is telling. But again, they might just ignore us, right? This might be just here to just make you feel warm and fuzzy inside until launch, right? Who knows? You know. Who knows? Who knows? But hopefully they do. Hopefully they do. Because for me, it's a big thing. The big thing. I was saying if they make the most of your pulls come from doing an activity or mode in Endfield, then they can make events like that, other types of rewards and add permanent modes. And I was saying if they make most of your pulls come from doing an activity or mode in Endfield, then they can make events that give other types of rewards and can add permanent modes. Yeah. Agree. Yeah. Because to me, that forces them then to make them better, doesn't he? Because if you're less reliant on reward, because like let's face it, right? It's gacha. What do a lot of people in gacha do, right? When they get frustrated, why do a lot of people gacha players get frustrated with Endfield? I mean, Endgame, right? Some of us will get a bit more specific and talk about artificial difficulty. Timers suck because it's not really difficulty. I can still do it, but it's boring because it's just doing in a set time or you fail. We get that, right? There's lots of games that we can finish the end game, but still, it doesn't feel satisfaction. You don't get a feeling of satisfaction from it because you know it wasn't really hard. It was just a timer. But one of the critiques you see a lot of people get mad about is having pulls in endgame content because they can't do it or they're not really bothered about doing it. And what do a lot of people in gacha games do with content? Speedrun the fuck out of events and endgame modes and bits of the game because they know at the end of it there's a potential 6 to 10 or a pull here and a pull there, and it makes players rush for those pulls but also not care when that content sucks. You know what I mean? And I think it stops genuine, real, critical thought processes happening in people's brains about, actually, did this just fucking suck? You know? Because at the end of it, they get that little, you know? Oh, God, I've got 7 pulls. I only needed 7 more pulls. Now I can go, you know? I've got my guarantee. PT, it's carried over. You know what I mean? And I think when you take that away, it forces developers to make something good then, doesn't it? Because I can't rely on that monkey brain feedback of, yes, you know? Mode sucked, but I still got 10 pulls. Because how many times you see people say that when a new mode or a patch drops for a game? Yeah, the event wasn't all that good, but I got pulls out of it. And they don't care. They don't care about the event then. And I think that's bad. Because, again, how I was speaking about Final Fantasy 9 earlier, when the satisfaction, the enjoyment, the end goal, in a sense, of doing a hard bit of content in a game like Final Fantasy 9 was that cutscene. That 30 seconds of FMV video footage, it was the best thing ever, right? Where now, in these games, it's like the reward isn't really the satisfaction of clearing hard content or doing something that's enjoyable. It's the destination at the end of the journey of, yes, I got some pulls out of that, you know? And I think it ends up being it detracts from the content and it allows developers to make lazy fucking shit pieces of content but top it up with pulls. How many times you see dry ass patches in gacha games that throw a few extra pulls in and, you know, people are like rabid stray dogs, right? picking up those crumbs and happy about it, tails wagging like, oh, thank you, boss, thank you, you know. So yeah, it's like it's a double-edged sword, man. It's like obviously the optimal thing is to have a really good event with pool currency. But yeah, I just thought it was a thing to think about, the fact that there's no pool currency in that, or at least it seems like that. What does that mean for the design of the event? Are they confident that it's that good? You ain't even going to give a fuck about getting pool currency out of it? Or maybe they just haven't mentioned the pool currency. I don't know. Yo, yeah, the Throw King is at it again. Yo, Nizari, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I think OG, AK made endgame modes where it genuine fun and rewards majority of mats, no pools, but people still willing to play non-stop due to how fun it is, yeah. The content was good, but the pool economy was shit this patch, 0 out of 10. Right? Right? How many times have we seen, like, the Woowa community doing that? Sorry to go back to the Woowa community. Talking about, well, well, our patch was better this month because if you look at Genshin and you look at Star Rail, they only got, if you take into the entirety of the patch, they got 100 pools where we got 130. So obviously it's a better patch, right? It's just like, is that how we're defining our gaming experiences? Now I get it, it's gacha, so more pools are better. Of course they are. This is one of my biggest critiques, is more pools are better. But it shouldn't be at the expense of the enjoyment, right? It shouldn't be at the expense of the enjoyment. And I think that's what we want to get into this game. Give me enough pools, because I want enough pools. But man, the journey should be the most important point, right? The pool currency is the destination, but the satisfaction's the real destination. The journey is what you should be enjoying. That's the main thing, isn't it? You know. Honestly, if the event is good enough, the pool currency takes a back seat. Yeah. Especially recently, me playing Reclamation Algorithm. Holy hell, it's as much fun as even with the gacha currency. It's unique and interesting. I still need to play that, man. Well, they're doing the OG Arknights thing of debuting an event to test players' feedback and see if they can carry it. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Maybe, man. Yeah. We were mentioned. Ah, yes, the Woowa community was going to get her on. They should separate pools from new events and game modes so we get fun and challenging gameplay. There is a simplified so it's easy. Exactly, but that's the thing as well, right? That's the thing. Some endgame content is either they'll do a thing where you like. I think ZZD is a smart thing where like what is it now? Is it 6 out of the 9? I can't remember anyway. On Deadly Assault, right? Currency only goes up so far, and then you don't get currency, right? Because you do get that thing then of like people get mad if there's content, if there's pulls locked behind difficult content, and that's understandable to a degree. Especially as free-to-play player who might already be struggling on an account anyway because you haven't got the money to get all the characters, and then the game's locking even more pulls behind that hard content. I can understand that frustration where it's like, fuck. So he gets an extra 20 pulls because he's got a cracked account, and I'm sitting here fucking scraping the barrel because I can't clear the first few stages, you know? So yeah. Can I read your previous comment? Yeah, I can do. Let me have a look. Sorry if I missed you. Where is it? Sanju? It'll be interesting if you looked at their beta 1 posts and see how they've improved on things I mentioned there. Has somebody got a link to that? I'll check it out. Just don't do, yes. Please. I'm okay with having timers in the game to some degree, okay? Even if we do have a TOA-like mode. But if you give me that, it has to be like 25% of endgame content maximum, because if the game launches right and we've got like TOA and their extraction mode, I'm gonna be pissed because I don't want another TOA again. Now, granted, granted actually, fuck that. I don't want that shit. It's dry. It's boring. It's crap. I don't enjoy it. It's just a lame way for people to pretend that they're good at the game, but it's all about your account. It's all it is. You know, I know you don't have to have the most cracked account to clear TOA on Woo. Like, it's not that strict, right? But it's just a shit way to do endgame, man. You know, I don't want to fight a timer. I'm okay with it having timers, right? You know, I'm okay with it having timers, but that's actually 6 out of 9. Okay. Yeah, I don't want it to be a big body of the content, because I'll be mad at that. I will. Each event shouldn't just be seen as good or bad by the gacha pulls it gives, but enjoy. Exactly. Yeah, it should all be about the content, right? At the end of the day, like, I think sometimes that's what happens with gacha games, right? And they're designed in that way, right? It's all these psychological hits. This is this reason why people go, well, gacha games it made to play for a long time. And it's like, I get the argument, right, but can we start getting back to being like, the stuff should be fun for being fun, not be fun because I got pull currency out of it. I think it's a really weak carrot on the stick, really, to encourage people to play shit. The new event is also locked to authority level 40, which is quite high. It doesn't force new players or casual players to rush their gameplay experience, whereas a camera event is more access. Yeah, true. Black Beacon events were fun before you killed it. Not a joy to play through. Black Beacon killer strikes again. So having some pulls stuck at a higher level can feel like FOMO. Yeah, I agree. 21. No, please do mode where you got to buff stuff in X amount of time. Do you know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see them really introduce like the base defense survival stuff into an endgame mode where it's just about, you know, the game gives you it's like we're getting swarmed, and it maybe puts you into an isolated environment, right? Loads a map up, and it's like gives you a set amount of materials, right? And it's like swarms are incoming, the Agaloys or the land breakers or whatever, and then you have to like set up your base quickly, little base, get some power set up and get some guns out, and then it's like, oh, you know, you've upgraded now because you've done certain things, now we need to put these guns down kind of thing, and then it's like you need to start putting your team members out there, and because we've already got on-field team members acting as AI, you can start throwing units out to start fighting and stuff. Like that'd be fucking cool, man. I'd like something like that. And it just gets increasingly more difficult. Like, I'll be here for that because, like, we've got all this base system, right? It needs to be implemented into other ways as well. And I think we'll see that. I'm confident we'll see that actually, because I don't think they just want to use it for material farming, right? You know, and I know there is already bits that we've seen in with like using your base for a defensive system, but I'm talking a bit deeper, go a bit above and beyond in that regard. That's my account. I can't clear any of the end-game content. I've cleared TOA once and then they changed it. I've cleared WoW 4 times, but now I don't want to. I don't have enough units to beat this refresh. Yeah, they both suck. Those mods do as well. They suck ass. Like, I know this will piss off WoW fans. I think Wuthering Waves are some of the worst end-game in gacha. I do, man. I think the fact that the game is just such a good game in general, because it is. It's a good game with a. I ain't that interested in the story, but the storytelling's good in terms. It's a visual presentation. It's a visual feast, right? And the game's good itself. I think that does so much heavy lifting because WoW and TOA suck balls, and most events doing Wuthering Waves as well. And the ones that are really good, they're just. I don't know what it is with Kuro, right? You know, that Trials Crisis mode, you know, the Depths of Elusive Realm, all that sort of stuff. The stuff that people are like, fire, yes, more. They're like, no. What do you think this is? Fuck off. Go play WoW. It's like, bro, why, man? I want to see them make a road like base builder, like build the base, run expeditions, and hit milestones. That'd be fucking sick. I like the idea of that. I can't stand TOA. I absolutely hate it when I'm forced to do it as many pulls. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what most people hit the tower literally for the pulls. They don't do it because they want to do it. They're there for the pulls, and then other people want to do it because they want to flex the S6 characters to be like, I did it 30 seconds quicker than you, did he? Okay, cool. You know, I want a food delivery event, like a zombie defense. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'd be fucking sick. Make a game mode similar to Elden Ring Night Rain. I've never. What do you mean by that, Blue? And welcome to the stream as well. So I've never played Night Rain. We need to put defenses basically OGAK but 3D. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. And put your ops on the field. Yeah. So it just goes isometric. So it's almost like an RTS game then. You know, kind of a bit of Command and Conquer in a way, almost. We're end game fucking suck. It does, right? Like, you know, I just think it's a great, man. Like, again, I think Wuthering Waves is a great game. Great game. Gorgeous. Great combat. Beautiful design. Maps. The characters are awesome. Some of the character kits as well are fucking brilliant. Some not so much. Can't win them all though, right? Yeah, man. End game. Blows, bro. Blows. Hope they'll make an RTS event mode for WoW like Commander. Yes, I mean at Endfield. Yes, I'm straight there with you. That'd be so fucking dope. So dope. Like, how cool would it be? Like, because we've already got the thing where, you know, with the blueprints, where we can literally drag a box on the screen, just like old school Command and Conquer. drag a box of your teammates and send them over there. Go kill them, you know? That'd be fucking cool, man. Especially if they could get multiple characters on screen as well. So you could potentially have up to like 12 units on stream just as a throwback to like Arknights as well. That'd be fucking sick, man. That'd be so fucking cool. Would the roguelike dungeon crawler work? I've been saying this for a while, right? Not enough gacha games do the typical like MMO dungeon crawling stuff. Like, I just think it's, you know, it's, yeah, I'd love to see something like that. Make a tower defense mode for the memes. We were endgame suck because there's literally no endgame. Kind of, really, yeah, to be fair. Deliver quest, but you can't ruin the food, okay? Can't get hit and can't somersault. Dodge. Check react smash for the beta or post. Alright, nice. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. And then we're gonna where is it? Is this the oh, is this from the website, is he? So 25th for the second, so this would have been like a week after the beta ended, right? Was this a week after the beta ended? Was it? When did it start now? It's like the 17th till the 19th or the 18th till the 19th, right? Can't remember. January or February or February? I think it was just after, right? Oh, yeah. There we go. Yeah. All right. If I'd have just looked, I'd have had the answer. I'd have had the answer. Okay. All right. And so, yeah. So what did I say? Yeah. Officially ended on the 17th. During the test period. Ministry of the test. Refinements of the game already in the works based on test feedback, which is true. Those did happen, right? From the IOC factory gameplay. There we go. IOC gameplay. Optimize to make it easy to pick up the gameplay. We've saw that, right? Improved combat experience. Oh, that's happened. Enhancing artistic presentation. Refining story and performance. There's a lot of people who question that. Developing new regions and stage gameplay. Receive tweaks, adjustments. Optimizing game performance, multiple platforms. Enhancing localization. Okay, so, yeah. Well, they definitely, 1, they worked on. 2, they definitely worked on. I think 3, they did as well. I'd say 4 they did as well, right? Whether people see it as refining necessarily is a different thing, but they definitely have tweaked it, right? There was definitely tweaks. And they developed new regions and stage gameplay, of course. Optimization, game performance on multiple platforms. Well, the fact that we've got a full flowing mobile beta and a PS5 beta coming, that's definitely a thing. Enhanced localization. I suppose, I guess. But I suppose what I could take from that, they did what they said they was going to do. So, hopefully, they do it here as well. They do it here as well, you know? They do it here as well. We can only hope. We can only hope. And then change the OSC to OG not track. Yeah, should take inspiration from our industry. The most for factory. I think most of its protection and gameplay fits EF the most. I've never played that. I don't know if I said hello to you as well, Lens. Welcome to the stream. Frederico, Enfield, more like Pepega Field. Pre-set up the squad's action order, combo extraction, then send them out like an auto chess mode. Yeah. I think that'd be dope. I've never played it myself, but my friend said Night Rain is basically Battle Royale. You have 40 minutes total gear to gear up and don't die. On the first 2 bosses, random if you die. Oh, okay. Interesting. Imagine the change of gacha currency acquisition and make it worse. Oh, please, no. I would be gutted. Honestly, as I say, for me, I might change my mind on certain things as I get further in, right? But I am cognizant of how biased I am. Tutorials didn't really fuss me too much, honestly. And especially when I'm streaming, I don't mind having a bit of hand-holdy stuff because when I'm streaming, I struggle so much to taking information. So it's always useful. But even if you misunderstand the tutorials in Endfield, as long as you look for the thing you want to build and then just go to the construction chain or whatever it's called, it's there for you. It literally lines it out. You know what I mean? It's kind of, dare I say it, foolproof. I think the thing when it comes to the base stuff in Endfield is just going from there, remembering, wait a minute, was it Was it refining to shredding? Was it shredding to this? Was it fitting? Was it filling? Packaging? You know, those sort of things. But quick look and you're good. The main thing about the basic system is just efficiency, right? You know what I mean? But, yeah, like, that doesn't bother me too much. Even though I don't think the story's had the strongest start. I mean, that's a fair statement, right? And it's probably quite a positive statement because a lot of people say it fucking blows, which is fair. It's subjective at the end of the day. But again, I am like cognizant of the fact, like I say, with Endfield, that they could kind of rip the piss out of me for the first 10 hours and I'd still have a smile on my face because I just really like the game. You know what? The gameplay loop for me is so good that it drags the rest of the stuff along with it. But I am also totally understanding the fact that not everybody's going to feel like that. And if they don't make it better after so many hours, even I'm not going to feel like that. A year into the game, I don't want the gameplay loop to be dragging a bunch of shit behind it. You know what I mean? Because that's just not it. And I'm not saying it is dragging a bunch of shit, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I agree, Lance, yeah. I think it's really good to see. As I say, like, you know, when we look at Yostar with Celisora, you know, still talk about it. Just didn't talk about it, right? They know that that was the main criticism because all the tweets were referencing that, whether you think they were valuable or not, right? Whether you believe that the gacha currency acquisition rate was an issue in Celisora, fair enough, right? But there's a lot of people who thought that. They didn't even recognise it. They didn't even say, look, you know, we've heard people's questions about this, but we believe the way we got the game set up over the next couple of months, it's going to be fine, guys. It's going to be fine. But they didn't. You know, they just ignored it, didn't they? So again, makes me happy that they're breaking away from Yosar as well. I think it's a good move. It allows them to be a little bit more flexible, right? This doesn't it? Because they can just make the decision. Hypergryph make the decision, and he just gets passed on to Griffline because Griffline is Hypergryph, right? There's no communicating with Yostar. Don't matter how good the publisher is, right? If they're a separate entity, problems can happen, right? You know, this time now, the book stops at Hypergryph, right? Griffline fuck up. It didn't like everybody can go, oh, well, you know, it was just, you know, a Yostar. You can't be like, well, it's just Griffline, you know, that's what they do because it's Hypergryph. So it's like, well, then people can go, wait a minute, you can't get away this time because Spider-Man meme time, right? You know? So, Yostar with ignoring the LPR. Right, yeah, it's fucking... They do, don't they? Like, people like, yeah, Yostar... Like, when people told me before, Yostar and Masters are sticking their head in the sand, I didn't really believe it. And then, like, recently, I've seen how things have been going, and I'm like, yeah, fucking they do, man. They are Masters of just, like, being like, problem? What? What problem? Oh, something wrong with you. Something wrong with you, I think. Oh, what are you talking about? You know? Where other games might not fix stuff, but they'll, like, maybe even attempt to recognize stuff. They're just like, nah, nothing to see here. Move along. So, yeah. But, yeah, at least, we haven't got to worry about it now with Endfield, at least, anyway. Ever. Of all your worries that you might have about Endfield, at least Yostar's not one of them, right? You might have 99 problems, but Yostar ain't one, right? So, that's a good thing. So I'm happy about that anyway. And this is coming from somebody who didn't necessarily have the negative impression that a lot of you guys would have had with Yostar being new, right? I came in and I was like, I don't know why everybody seems to dislike Yostar, man. I don't get it. Now being, 6 months into playing Arknights, a bit more, playing Endfield, seeing how they've treated Celisora, seeing stuff that's happened with other games, I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it now. Makes sense. Actually kind of makes sense. Don't get me wrong, they're not the worst publisher in the world. They're not, because, you know, I mean, that goes to Black Beacon's global publisher. But still, you know, it's not great, right? Especially when you've got a gem like Arknights and a potential gem like Endfield, right? You definitely don't want some fucking dumbass global publisher. Like, just imagine, guys. Just imagine, like, Endfield launched, right? And they were like, yeah, shit. We fucked up on the gacha resources, guys. And then you see that post in Reddit. Oh, by the way, Cien's getting 30 pulls and a selector. What were you getting? Fuck all. Right. Oh, I'm so glad we don't have to... Hey, I hope Hypergryph don't do that to us. So we might have to. Maybe Hypergryph focus. Maybe Hypergryph focus. You know, I don't know. I hope not though. But yeah, let's have a little look through here, and then we're going to get into the game, guys. But guys, if you haven't already as well, drop a like on the shit. Oh, actually, it was a video I did want to check out. It's a 10-minute video, a detailed look into Arknights, Endfield combat and gameplay. I think it's worth checking out, right? Limit Zero Breakers CBT sign up is a go. Man, r/gacha gaming's been dreadfully boring the last few days. Like dreadfully boring. I've already seen that. There's nothing in the dev combat the gacha system. Okay. Is it? Oh man, I'm so glad there's some. I'm so glad. You know. Yo, Casual, thank you very much for the membership, mon squire. Thank you for the continued support. You are an absolute legend, eh? A legend, dude. Thank you, boss man. Thank you, boss man. Isn't it nice to see these? First comment, maybe because the amount of pulls we get matters more than the gacha system. Based. We can have the absolute best gacha system with the point of it being the best. I think somebody's been watching my streams. Yeah, agree. Couldn't agree anymore. Upvote. Based take. A comment from Zijavi, so which one? Oh, this one. Yeah, because gacha system does not need to be fixed. They did talk about the gacha resource acquisition, and that is way more important. Agree. Oh man, I'm so happy. Have we got an actual? We'll have to wait and see. Let's wait and see. Man, hopefully we can get a wrinkly brain community. I think they should do away with the Arsenal tickets, only obtainable through character banners. We should at least be able to directly put on the weapon banner. Now, do we have a big 4-pilled player here, or is somebody trolling? Do away with the Arsenal tickets, only obtainable through character banners. We should at least be able to directly pull on the weapon banners. Yeah, man. Let's split our premium currency down the middle for weapon banners, right? Sounds like a good time. Why do you want fucking pulls on weapons every time you do a pull on your characters? Don't you just want to split all your currency, bro? You know? What, you got 100 pulls? Ooh. You know? Let's hope you get the character early then, or you're fucked. You know? Yeah. Don't know about that one, buddy. The only reason the gacha system will change if there's a huge uproar in CN. Not that big. That's the only problem. See, like, the reason I made this video talking about the review bombing the other day as well, which I didn't really specify in the video, but it's one of the reasons why I want to talk about it, because, like, people were talking about it in the Discord yesterday, and it is fair to feel frustrated if you didn't get into the beta, especially if you're in CN because you're not getting access to the rebate. Frustration, fair. Being an idiot about it online, not fair, really. But the reason why it sucks, because the reviews from CN are just flooded with angry non-beta getters, right? Non-beta havers. You know, if you were in Elden Ring, you'd say maidenless, right? But because of that, it means that, like, you're not getting a real idea of what CN's really thinking about the actual, you know, the gacha and the currency side of things and what it's costing to actually get pulls and stuff. You're just not seeing much of it. So hopefully soon we might have to start. Hopefully somebody starts translating some Billy stuff. Like, you know that dude who translated that massive Billy review before? We've seen nothing from him, have we? The one who did the translation for it. Because I'd be interested to see what they're saying about you know, about the gacha system overall, rather than just the... Because I think one thing I've seen what CN don't like, which I think just comes from an original Arknights player perspective, if I'm honest, is the standard banner. Fair enough. To change, not a lot of people who played Arknights don't like. Get it, all right? I get it. But other than that, I haven't really seen too many critiques. You know, I've seen some people talking about the pity carryover, but it's not like it's a deal breaker for them. Whereas, like, in the end, a lot of people are like, fuck pity, no, you know. So, like, I'm kind of curious to see what the Arsenal tickets are, more options better, so I agree with them, to be honest. The Arsenal tickets are also pretty difficult to come by currently. Well, the reason the Arsenal tickets are difficult to come by currently is because pulls are difficult to come by. That's the problem. That just goes back to the crux of what the person says here, right? Is, you know, we're glad that they spoke about it because it's the gacha resource acquisition that's the problem. You get more gacha resources, you get more weapon pulls. It's just a direct correlation with this game, right? So yeah, that for me, it's not even a big issue. Send to the Ursus minds if he wants to grind 2 currencies, right? Like, why would you want to grind 2 currencies? Is the take he wants to be able to direct pull in addition to the, like, I kind of get that there, but it's do away with the Arsenal. Oh, I suppose he's not really saying do away with the Arsenal tickets, really, is he? It's fair. He's saying do away with only obtaining them through character balance. So I think he's saying, he's saying don't drop it, but give us. All right, fair. That's fair. Should have been an open beta. You won't get any argument from me there. You won't get any argument from me there. I said I was hoping it, before I got access. I was like, I want it to be open, so I'll make sure I get it. But I want everybody to get access to it. But like for me, going from it's not an open beta, so I'm literally gonna go and be a troll online. That's just retarded, man. Like that is just like as an adult to do that, to be on reviews calling High Mao. I can't remember what they was calling, but there was insulting him, calling Hypergryph. What was he? Brothel prostitutes or something. Like, bro, grow up, man. You know. But yeah, I agree. I agree. It should have been open. Got no argument from me that I wanted everybody to play the game. I hope you all lose your 50-50s energy. I certainly prayed they would do open beta. I did as well. Open beta means launching a game. Well, technically, in China, as soon as you activate paid systems, it's not considered a launch, but technically, well, it's considered you're in commercial operation, which is kind of a pseudo launch. You're not actually legally launched, but you are in an operation phase. So it comes with caveats of you can't do multiple betas after that and keep dropping and coming up and changing things because it's considered unusual commercial activity or something. But it's technically not a launch, but it technically is at the same time. So it's the way the regulations work over there. As soon as they activate that, it's kind of like seen as like the early access almost to a degree. If Hypergryph is smart, they'll prioritize beta server results of general public outrage. Yes, and I'm sure they will, right? I'm sure they'll pick through all that stuff and just be like, yeah, we can't stop people being angry about not getting in the beta. Hey, maybe they might think in hindsight, maybe they just didn't want to spend a crap ton of money on server stuff, right? Maybe they just wanted, maybe it wasn't about a stress test for them. Maybe it was specifically about certain things that they needed a smaller data set. We just don't know, do we? You know, we could say, well, they need more players, but they might have specifically been looking for certain things that needed specific setups, a specific set of players, that, you know, a group to a size that they could monitor properly. Because if they got everybody in, it probably becomes hard to monitor all the player activity to a degree, doesn't it? So I guess, you know. I have a critique of a very specific story segment, but that would be spoilers. Again, they had that in beta 1 and no one used it. You talking about Arsenal tickets, I think, aren't you, Rhys Andrew? They also massively reduce the Arsenal tickets you get from beta 1. In beta 1, it was 200, 500, and 1500 for 4, 5, 6 stars. Beta 2, we get 20, 200, 2000. Yeah. See, like, I don't know. It feels worse. Well, it is worse, right? I don't know if it's... For me, that's... It's like less for your 6 stars, but overall you're getting more. Because, like, what is it? 120 pulls, worse luck, lose your 50-50, 1 5-star, every single 10 pulls, giving you, what, 8,560 pulls, which is 4.2 10 pulls, 42 pulls, something like that, which is basically a 6-star weapon, right? It's not guaranteeing you the signature, but it's what? you're getting a 6-star weapon, 2 6-star characters in 120 pulls, aren't you? Where equivalent in WoA, like we're saying, if you went to hard pity and lost your 50-50, you're talking 160 for the character, and then because there's no 50-50, you're talking, let's say, go halfway to make it there, he's talking 200 pulls, right? So it's still 80 less, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't know if though 200 and 500 seems like a lot though, doesn't he? You know what I mean? Do you reckon they could change the rebates for weapons? They could really, couldn't they? I don't think why they couldn't do that. I did the math. In the first bait, you need 220 pulls to get a rate up 6-star weapon, and second bait, you need 280 pulls to get it. 280. 120 worse luck gets you fucking 4. You need 8, right? So, like maximum, you'd be talking 240, wouldn't you? And you probably wouldn't even get that because you get another character at 160. Yeah, would be 240 max, wouldn't it? Yo, Casval, what's going on, dude? Welcome to the stream. You know, close by to will upset people, especially if it's a lottery online. Oh, yeah. People are always going to be angry at stuff like that. When you're running a business, you've got to understand that some people will never be happy. End of the day, you got to run your business right. You know? That's the way it is, isn't it? You know? Boycott Hypergryph. That's true. Let's be real, beta is closed purely for marketing. I think all betas are marketing tools, aren't they, to a degree, right? Right, yeah. I think it's clear, though, from beta 1 to this. Well, I think the test to beta 1 to this, it hasn't just been used for a marketing factor. It has been used for development, right? Because we've seen huge, from test 1 to beta 1, huge changes, right? And from beta 1 to beta 2, a large amount of changes as well, right? Yeah, cold demographic data is a big factor as well, easy. Yeah, it's true. That's true. Yeah, you want to know what the games you play, sort of stuff you're into, times that you play games, how much you usually spend, all that sort of stuff, the hardware, what you're playing on, all everything. You know, corporate greed could be his downfall. What's going on, Cafe? It's going to be you get clipped out of context picks. What did I say? Basically, you need at maximum 4 6-star to get a guarantee 1 rate up 6-star weapon. 4 6-star ops in headhunting. Well, I think you need, what is it? You need like 15k tickets, don't you? To get the rate up. Yo, Josh. And 8,560 gets you a 6-star. Not the guarantee, but like you might win it, no, you know. But that's at least as well. You know, you might actually, it's not taking into account that you might actually get earlier, right? Like, in the last beta, I must admit, you were raining weapons. So it might make sense that they've dialed it down. Because you were raining weapons. Like, for me, the biggest issue with this game at the minute, straight up, gacha acquisition. It's just fucking dog. You know what I mean? It's dog. And there's no way to get around it. There's no, it's not that bad. It's trash. It's trash. It's straight up trash. And it has to be better on launch. And I'm so glad they've referenced that. I'm so glad they've acknowledged people have got an issue with it. Let's just see if they fix it now. I think that's all we can do, right? I think it's fair that they've acknowledged it. Now, we'll put a note in that and be like, okay, come launch, motherfuckers. If it ain't fixed, then we crash out. Is it, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad people are looking at that. I'm glad it seems to be like most people's conversations, right? Is gacha currency. It looks like they've recognised the gacha currency was too low in the beta from player feedback. All of this means they will address it as it could be pretty easy to fix. Yep. Devs listened. On a serious note, though, I'm glad they've acknowledged all the criticisms they've received. Transparency is always needed. Agree. Great to see they've actually read feedback and named the issues on said feedback. Always love to see it. A little sad that they mentioned nothing of the story in this post. I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, I think it's too late to fix the story stuff. Right, we ain't getting a Wuthering Wave situation here where they scrap 90% of the story before launch. And I don't want them to either, because personally, I think we'll end up with the worst fucking thing, right? Because it'll be too reactionary. I get it. It's a bit rough at the start for some people. For me, I'm happy because I'm in love with the game. I'm biased though, right? Cards on the table, fucking biased as fuck. I think the tutorial and pacing is the main thing, right? But I think if we rip the story up now, we'll get an even worse story for the first year. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be waiting like Wuthering Waves till like 1.1 to really get a piece that hits, and then you're having to wait till kind of like 2.0 again. Because there was bits in Wooer that was all right, but you could tell it was a game that had its story gutted and rewritten, right? And I think Kuro did a good job, really, considering what they had to do. They did, but it's clear now with Wuthering Waves, where the game's gone, it's a game that the plan came after the start, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? And I'd rather them not do that. I'd rather them stick and say, all right, okay, maybe we didn't hit the landing. We're going to try and tweak things so it doesn't feel so bad in terms of tutorials. Because I think if people can just get through those first few hours, they'll be all right, right? And the gameplay will do a lot of their carrying and then let things go. Because, yeah, you know, if people can get through the first 2 hours of fucking DNA and then turn around and say it's peak, then hopefully they're not the story doesn't seem bad. It's just dull. Yeah, I think it's because of the initially trying to incorporate the base building stuff in as well, which has made it duller than what it was. Because I think a lot of people was expecting it to be better than the last beta. I think in essence it's maybe a bit drier than the last beta. You know, True just improve the story after this. Yeah. I think trying to go back to the drawing board would be a bad move. I think it would, man. Yeah, like OG Arknights 2, the first few chapter beginners are seen as not as good. Yeah, again, maybe I just like the way Hypergryph do stuff, because people kept saying that to me. First few chapters, I was in it right away. You know what I mean? I was in it right away. But yeah, I think it's a fair thing. As long as they can get within the first, let's say the first patch, things take a big jump, right? Even if the story itself hasn't gone well, but the hit story beats pacing, storytelling, and then maybe by 6 months we're cooking. You know, I can deal with that. I can deal with like the first 6 months being a little bit slow, but just improve on the storytelling and fix the pacing, and then the cooking starts, right? Because we know what they're capable of, and we know it's going to be told in a different way, but we know they're capable of stuff, right? You know, and sometimes I know it is a cliche when it comes to, like, you know, the MMO thing of it takes 100 hours to get good, but maybe it might be one of them stories that needs that slow setup, right? That's like laying this kind of maybe boring groundwork for everything to get going. But still, it's incumbent upon developers to hook players straight away. There's no denying it, right? Just because a story's slow doesn't mean it has to be shit, right? We was 1.x was just a vehicle to get you to the proper launch in 2.0. Yeah, I agree. And you can clearly see now from 2.0 to where we are in 3.0 of what we've seen as well. This is the new vision of Wuthering Waves, right? You know, it clearly is like a different game to what it initially was. Good or bad, you can argue that till the cows come home, but it's clearly a different vision, right? And and I don't think it's the vision they initially had, personally, because we saw what it was, and we know because they ripped up 90% of the story, so it's clearly not the same vision. I think personally it suffered some uniqueness. It lost a bit of itself. I think if Wuthering Waves hadn't done that, I think we'd probably have a much more engaging story now. Maybe I'd still be playing the game. Since Valley 4 story is already rewritten and such, it's hard to change much since it's close to release, so they should stick with it to focus on the lane stories. Agree. DNA mentioned Pixel Tree's next victim. Like my critique had to do with a certain scene, makes me a bit irritated. I think I know which scene you might be on about. I have seen a scene that a lot of people were not, you know. That's because you could keep playing when you started. Are we talking about Wooer or Endfield? BS, sorry. Big Street Curse for Gachas be like, it involves Originium. Oh, okay. Maybe not then. It's different if I have to wait for the next bit. And oh, yeah, you're talking about Arknights. Nah. Nah, you're right. Nah, I get what you're saying, yeah. Having been able to a bunch of content to get through definitely makes it different. Yeah, of course. That's just the negative side of live service games, right? You know? It's not a one and done story that you get to experience the whole thing. It's an ongoing thing, right? And if you join it as it launches, you're always going to have that wait, aren't you? But if you come later, you can potentially have, like me, 5 years of content to get through, right? I get what you're saying now. I do think many tutorials is the reason why people don't like the story. I agree, yeah, I think so. The British curse. Yeah, so he's just boring, at least it's not bad. Yeah. To be fair though, to like paint the other side, sometimes boring can be worse than bad, right? You know? Boring can be worse than bad. You know what I mean? I don't know, that sounds like an oxymoron in a sense, but like, it's like when you have some movies that are that bad, you can't help but just enjoy them because they're trash. Whether it be like because of the special effects or the story, right? The storytelling, the writing, the acting, whatever it might be, and you just can't help but watching the film because you're like, man, this is fucking shite. You know? But like some of that's boring, it's just like, oh, you haven't even got the energy to get through it, so it's like a double-edged sword, really. I do wonder though, chat, which first chapter of gacha do you consider good, decent? Because I'm gonna be real, no gacha starts good in my eyes. I don't know, man. I think CZN started really strong. I do. Obviously, we all know what happened there, but I think the initial start of CZN, I was like, damn, yo, this is a cool-ass universe, and I'm liking where this is going. Kind of fell off. But, yeah, I think the initial part was good. I think Star Rail had a really good start as well. Bellabog was its best bit. Like, first initial bit was a little bit, you know, had that initial slow start, but yeah, I think Star Rail started off pretty good, personally. I quite like the start of Reverse 1999 as well. I think that's definitely something that a lot of people probably wouldn't agree with. Agreed, boring is worse than bad. At least bad can be entertaining, yeah, right? Oh no, boring can be way worse than bad at times, right? Yeah. Like bad movies, sure as hell entertaining is much better than a boring movie. Yeah, like I'm somebody who appreciates that because I like watch a channel on YouTube called Jason Brandt, and he's a writer, and like they do a thing called So Bad It's Good, a bunch of Americans, and they like watch terrible movies together and like drink beer, and it's hilarious. Like the movies they watch, like, oh my god, you think you've seen bad movies? You ain't seen bad movies till you watch some of the movies they've watched. Like I swear, sometimes they've managed to get copies of films that like didn't even get launched. Like they're that bad, like you can't see stuff in them. Like, but some of them are so bad they're absolutely hilarious, like side splitting funny. You know what I mean? We all got clickbaited by Bellabog for real. Yeah. Big needs to play Heaven's Burn Red. I did plan to play that. I've heard the story's good in that as well. Probably just for the change on their logo on Mihoyo to Hoyoverse. CSN story is alright, but I think the gameplay will overshadow. Yeah, definitely. The gameplay is fire, right? Just feels like a goddamn scare every time you play their games. Every boring movie is bad, but not every bad movie is boring. True. It's true. Facts. This is facts. So yeah, I think you know, yeah, like I say, for me, I'll still go back to gacha pool currency has to change. Everything else can kind of deal with, but I want to see 120. I want to see gacha pool currency get better. And I want good endgame. The gacha itself, whatever, man. I don't think it needs to change personally, but that's still a subjective thing. I know people will argue, well, gacha systems are objective. It depends on how you're playing games, right, and what you want from a game. If it's a pity, yeah, it's a bad system. If it's not, and you just want good value pools, but they're only good value if you're getting a good amount of currency as well, right? So, yeah. Those shoes are mad, right? They are wild, man. They're like click together. Those heels are dangerous, bro. Dangerous. I still need to watch, this is just, it's a Vanos video, yeah. I need to watch the Sunil video still. Keo did a video on the gacha. To be fair, I probably will watch it. Probably not going to watch it on stream. We've all gone over the gacha, right? There's nothing new to add to the gacha system now, if I'm honest, I don't think. I saw this as well. Wade in. It's the details, man, that I love about Endfield. I love the details. Can you lock the fuck in? Damn, that's a nice piece of art. I like it. It was a base building compared to Pal Worlds. Was not base building. I mean, that's the thing people need to. You say base building, but you're factory building, right? You're not building a homestead and then putting a load of storage stuff for your weapons and stuff and all your bits and pieces and growing pals. suggestions. I might look at that later. Might look at that. Because do you know what I said? A suggestion. What do you think of this suggestion, chat? Like, I personally am fine with the gacha system. But what do you think of this suggestion? Your spark has a hidden. Your spark has which video? Which video was yours? This. This one. Is this yours? Oh, you got yoinked. Yoinked, mate. You got yoinked. I like it. What do you think of these? The spark system having a hidden pity, and that hidden pity's related to the character, but not in the banner after, right? Like, you know, the crossover banners, but related to it's a rerun pity, right? What do you think of something like that? So let's say you decide to fuck it, balls to the wall, gamba, you throw down 90 pulls, you lose your 50-50, you're 30 pulls off sparking, right? Banner ends, you're back to 0, and you do your thing again, right? The crossover banner still doesn't count, next crossover banner still doesn't count, but when the character comes up next time, 30 pulls, and you get the character, but it's the rerun, right? And then it just resets then, you know? Is that just silly? Or I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just like trying to throw out ideas out there that's not just like, carry over, guarantee, it's good. You know, because I just think they're like kind of reductive, and it's just, one, I don't think it's going to happen, because if that happened, you know what's going to happen? The spark's going to 160, and Arsenal tickets are going to either go away or going to be neutered to the point where they're like Stellasaura, right? They're going to be like that, where you might be looking to get a few pulls towards your weapon throughout the entirety of the pull, right? So I honestly, I'm not really wanting that to happen anyway, because, you know, it's just going to, you know. Then what happens for those less popular ops that don't rerun? Well, yeah, it'd have to be based on, like, everything would have to rerun, wouldn't it? Welcome back, free temple during limited banners. Sounds not bad, but Christ. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing. It is a bit complex and complicated, you know. You're like, shit, wait, fuck. It's been 9 months since that ban. Did I pull on it? Shit, fuck. Oh. What, did I have 30? Was it 50? I can't remember. You know, so it is fair. You know, you'd have to be writing stuff down when you're putting it on a notepad. 50 pulls for Spark. Save that. 9 months later, got it. You know, so yeah. Like I say, probably a silly idea, but you know. Have I heard of a game called what? Tug on My Nuts. I should ever bring them to rerun or make them to take them to. See, like for me, I don't mind everything going to the standard pool straight away. I would like kind of like a kernel system though, that every so often I'd like a rotation system, right? The standard banner stays how it is, where every so many months a set amount of characters go into the standard banner, and then after a set amount of months they rotate out for another set of characters. So you could potentially plan then. You miss a character, you're like, okay, I know that in, I don't know, 3 months time, that character's going to go into the standard pool and I can have another go at it. Or maybe a bit longer. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of that. Maybe they should do it like events 2. If they rerun the second time, you get added to the permanent standard pool. So going to rewrite all the chapters before 6 to fit better. Dagger tried, he failed. He knows. Yeah. Essentially, what happened ends at the current ride for CZN is the one. Yeah. There's a whole drama on it, man. If they do that, they could just guarantee counter for the rerun, so it's not hidden. Yeah. Even like in a game, show up a person that tiny bits of things can keep track of, but if you apply it to whole play base, well, that's it, yeah. I was saying this as well when I spoke about it in my stream. It's like, could it bring in server-side issues where you know for a fact you're 30 pulls, but something happens with the servers, it doesn't carry over, and then you get fucked? I don't know. Just an idea. When I was thinking about it, I was like, it's probably a silly idea, but I'm just trying to throw out ideas out there that are not just like rip the fucking gacha system and turn it into Wiwa's gacha system, because I don't want it to be Wiwa's gacha system. I don't care what anybody says. Like, if you think Wooers is better, the only reason Wooers is better is because for pity carryover. I couldn't give a fuck about that because for Wuthering Waves, right, my experience with Wuthering Waves, right, is probably being about 60-40 on winning and losing. So 60% of the time I'm probably winning my 50-50s, right? But on the weapon banners in Wuthering Waves, it was always 70 pulls plus. I never, like, I think, no, tell a lie, Changli, I've got Changli and I got the weapon in like 20 odd pulls, buzzing. But every other weapon was like 70 pulls to get the weapon, right? So if you're an average, let's say, obviously, because about 50% of those, 60% of those I was winning the 50-50 and 40% I wasn't. So you're talking, let's just say 100 to 120 pulls, right? You're still talking 190 pulls to get the character and get the weapon, right? With the system we've got now, that's on average for me around about 70 pulls more than what I'm doing now, right? And I'm having to split my premium currency as well. So that's a good chunk of that premium currency that could have gone on other pulls. So it's just a better system for me. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I get it. If pity matters, okay. But I think a lot of people think, well, the pity's better. Guarantee weapon, pity. It's a better system. But on average, you're going to just be doing more pulls. You're just going to be. You just are. Like, whether you get the pulls is a different thing, right? But you just, on average, you're going to be doing more pulls. Just are. You know? Unless you're pulling on every banner and gambling, right? And then you are going to be in the position of potentially doing a 50-50 all the time, right? But that's, the system's telling you up front, don't do this. And that's your choice then, right? Mugatsu is just Genshin. It's just Genshin's +1, right? That's kind of what Woo is a different game in terms of its gameplay, right? But a lot of its systems are, right, what's Genshin doing? +1. Simple, right? It's kind of what it is. And it works. It's worked, but we need something different now. We don't need Woo +1 because I don't want Woo +1. You know what I mean? I wish YT would get his shit together every time I come into stream. I have to leave and come back to get the chat to. Yeah, it's fucking broke at the minute. YouTube is broke. It's trash. I keep having this thing that says I've got no audio bitrate as well. I've been fiddling with my audio bitrate on OBS. YouTube's just broke at the minute, man. It's terrible for streaming. I've won 4 50-50s and gotten 2 weapons under soft pity since 1.0. Yeah, I was going to say, dude, your luck with the gacha in was terrible. My experience is both characters max pity after 50-50 loss. It was painful. The only win I had was Jersey, sorry. But she was also at 75 balls. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, say, man, it's even though it's a guaranteed weapon, man, it's rough. Because, like, in a sense, you've got, like, a pseudo no weapon banner, right? It's almost like a faux weapon banner, in a way. It's there, and you still have to pull on it. But it's not, in a sense, is it? Because it's like every pull gets you towards it, in a way. It's just depending on how many pulls, you know. Again, another thing that will come into a big factor as well, because we do have some really good non-signature weapons in the game also. So I'm hoping there's going to be plenty of characters that come along, right, who don't have the necessity of a signature weapon. And think about it like this: they're the banners you're going to want to go to 120 on, because you're going to stack a shit ton of Arsenal tickets that you're not going to use on that banner. And then come the next one that you might get lucky and get the character in a few pulls. You've got a bunch of extra Arsenal tickets that you use from the last banner to get the weapon. You get the character cheap. Then you've got a bunch of fucking pulls again for the next banner that you want. And in a way, if you kind of can get lucky like that, which again is RNG, which you can't rely on that. You know, some people could be in insane situations where they're just rolling deep all the time. One of the games should copy from Genshin is Capturing Radiance. It's essentially pity for your lost 50-50s that prevents lost streaks. Yeah, I think that was a good system when they introduced that. Yeah. Welcome back, Nursery. Character and weapon. Yeah. The weapon banners feel like a scamming movie. It ends up being an asteroid vacuum. Yeah, for me. I was always in that position with Wuthering Waves where it's like, I know I can definitely get the character, but unless I get the weapon in 50 pulls, I'm not. And more often than not, you know, I went without him. You know, I went without him, like, and it's a shitty feeling, man. It's a shitty feeling, especially when, you know, not saying that they're like ultra dependent on the weapons, right? But you know, some of the characters are quite dependent on them. In the end, Hypergryph will solely teach players to save them and have prioritization. Yeah. You should have gone down the skin battle pass route. Gacha is bad. Hey, I get it, man. If you're against Gacha, I get it. I just don't know if they'd have made the money though, man. I don't think there'd have been enough profit there. I do hope they have a lot of skins in the game though, like Arknights. Or it'd be a lot harder to make them on it, considering where the game looks. Honestly, that'll be interesting from Endfield. They start to foster a gacha group of people who start to have impulse control. Exactly, yeah. Yeah. Well, this is the thing. If they can do this system right, and Endfield's successful, you'll have a bunch of companies that go along and go, oh, that works. So why don't we do that and add a pity carryover? And then you're getting the best of both worlds. And then another company goes, all right, okay, this Arsenal system works. Is that the way it goes now? And even games that have weapon banners, they're kind of going away because you're getting rebates all the time. This is why I say, we're never going to get rid of gacha as a whole in gacha games, right? But you can have it transform, can't you? You know, this is what I tried to say to the Wither community before when people were talking about, like, people were acting like winning a Game of the Year awards the most important thing, and it'll make the rest of the industry copy Wuthering Waves. It's like, no one, motherfucker. Being at the top of the revenue charts will make them copy that game, you know? It looks good to have a Game of the Year award. It don't pay the bills, all right. There's a reason we have a very Hoyo-fied gacha system in gacha nowadays, because Hoyo, you know, developed the gacha system in gacha to the point that it become the Hoyo system. It makes bank, right? So everybody tried to start doing the Hoyo system and tweaking it here and there. So, like, hopefully if Endfield can become that next game, it's never going to be Genshin, because Genshin's Genshin and Genshin's just a different beast, right? But, like, if it can become a game that's up there, then all of these up-and-coming games coming out soon, who knows, your Azure Familiars, your Silver Palaces, your Unending Dawns, well, I know Ananta's not really doing it, but, you know, all these other games might, like, oh, okay, you know, this looks interesting, because NTE are doing an interesting system. I just don't think NTE is going to be anywhere near good enough to make that system appealing to other companies, is it? Oh, Jock, not somebody condition his play to have self-control. Hopefully that happens for Endfield. I'm so anti-gacha. Hey, it ain't bad to be anti-gacha though, honestly. Until I played fucking Genshin, I was wholly anti-gacha. Up until 2023, I was like, fuck, am I going to play those gambling games? And now look at me. I'm fucking I'm in the fucking hole deep. Not money-wise, but I'm a degenerate now. I'm actively out here going, I kind of like the gamba, you know? Oh no, yeah, Ducklaw, I got fucking waylaid with Endfield talk, man. Yeah, alright, let's get into it then, man. Let's get into it now, because we're waffling now. We're waffling now, boys. Alright, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it, boys. Let's do it. But it's still possible, very difficult due to everyone being conditioned. But if it helps some people to have impulse control, it's a good thing. But again, difficult to tackle on. Yeah. You've just got to be good, ain't you? You've got to be one, a good game that appeals to the masses, and you've got to be two, a profitable title that appeals to the suits. You know, and if you can do that, you're good to go, right? Because at the end of the day, we might care about Game Awards, whether it's to poke fun at another game or to be like, oh, I got a 10 pull, right? We might care to that degree, but guess what the suits care about? Bottom line, profit margins, quarterly numbers, what the stockholders and the shareholders are saying, right? You know, what they can write off. That's what they care about. And at the end of the day, monetization systems determine that, don't they? Success of the game, but the monetization system wrapped around that success matter. So you can win 1 million game award a year, but if you ain't making money, ain't nobody replicating that shit. They just ain't. It just ain't happening. It ain't happening. So yeah. Products received. Products received. Man, I've got to go and get my haircut, man. It's a fucking problem, boys. It's a problem. I'm telling you, it's a problem right now. Saving money. Cough. The slots will get cold without the gamblers on the seats, right? Now, I'll be honest, man. I do. I must admit, like, you know, as I say, most games I don't spend on. At the minute, recently, the only game I've spent any money on is Arknights. Prior to that, it was WoW. Spent a tiny little bit on Firelight and Genshin. I'm talking tiny. You know, a couple of monthly passes, one bundle. I did buy the monthly pass the first month on CZ and I haven't re-upped it though. And that's pretty much it. I don't think I've spent on any other gacha game. I'm trying to think now. I don't think I have. It's like I don't have an issue with spending, but I acknowledge I quite enjoy the systems. But I think I like to think, maybe that's a risky thing. I think I'm well aware of that I like that stuff and control that. I'm just not going to spend money unless it's a game I really like. Because like I say, you guys all know my opinion when it comes down to games. I look at it as an hourly thing, whether it's gacha or not. If I've got 100 hours in a game and I've spent 50 quid on it, I've spent 50p per hour. That's pretty good, man. You know? It's pretty good with how expensive life is nowadays.
From Operation Reserve Team Ace. I'm Vanilla. Trainee up.
Wait for the day for the AI bubble to pop. I don't think it's gonna, man. I think it's becoming such a core component in a lot of stuff now. I just don't think it's gonna go away. I think AI will get to the point where you don't realize it in terms of like video generation and voice generation, all that stuff. You just won't realize. You know what I mean? It's definitely going to be used a lot more on logistical stuff and that. You know what I mean? A lot of AI will be to the point where you just don't notice it. Like obviously video stuff for the while you're still gonna notice, but you know, even like the video stuff, like the video stuff, like now, he's getting to the point where it's like quite a lot of them you have to double take, don't you? When you're like, was that AI? You know, was that AI? I always forget to do my, what's it? I usually just span through and get my weekly limit and that's it. On Annihilation. I assume mainstream now, honestly. So you join in, yeah, take an eye. Look at the video games I'm using it now. You'll see a massive amount of films using it. You know, games will be using it for writing stuff as well. You just won't even notice, man. Yeah. Prices have doubled because of the AI bubble. Yeah, it's been used shitty, like, you know, because AI does have some genuine positive use cases, right? Yeah, I forgot the fucking mechanic in this now. What's the mechanic? What's the mechanic on this now, chat? That's it. We don't know who's an enemy, the civilians, and until we block them, or they're in our line of sight, right? Spies in the Britain soil. I kind of like the idea of that because it makes sense. Because, you know, Britain was a hotbed after the First World War for spies, wasn't it? It's my team I was using yesterday for beating a Blana. El Banana Nani. El Banana Nani. Lock stops are moving through, yeah. Attack range, that's it. Right. As a software engineer, I just surrendered to AI. Get into working with AI, and then one day, an AI will end up taking your job for programming other AI, and then it'll be Skynet, and we'll all be fucked anyway. You know? Praise be the machine. I'm gonna take Tragodia out. I'm gonna take your boy out. I fear he may be becoming too much of a crutch. Because Tragodia, I used him on one challenge stage on the Firelight casts. Just wanted to mention that as well. Because he has become a... We've got a lot of enemies that are susceptible to physical as well. Let's get some of these healers out as well, because we were over-healing for a Blana. Pardon me. Let's get the apple sauce out. Yeah, let's bring in Lappy. We love a bit of Lappy.
Where's the rally point?
Let's get Sussurro out as well. I think silence and monsters more than enough. You know what? Let's bring Cantable in. Let's go have a little bit of double frontline action. Double frontline action, boys. Also, these ain't real language modules. I'll tell you what. I appreciate AI when it comes to, straight up, you know, when it comes to business emails. Especially when it comes to, like, sponsors and stuff like that. I will straight up copy that email. I'll slap it in, like, ChatGPT. I'll say, look, respond to this in a professional manner. Regarding their rates, you know. Talk about these rates, that rates, what do they expect from me? And then, bam, 5 seconds, it's done. Ping the email back. Sweet. Because I hate doing that shit, right? You know? And then sometimes I'll even use that to be like, what do you reckon the fucking, these rates are like, and that, and double check them off myself and be like, yeah, fuck that then. You know? I use it for that, I do. Like, it's great, man, because no way I'm sitting there replying to a bunch of emails. I love it, AI for that. Do you know what though now? You know, most people who work in offices as well, use it now to respond to emails. It's just so much easier, isn't it? In those regards, it makes things super efficient for people, right? It makes their jobs just easier. It's like you say, though, AI could be a really good tool for efficiency, for making people's lives easier. The worry is of the replacement side of things, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? But anyway, all right, then. Let's get back to it. Chapter 12. We've confirmed that a high-speed warship belonging to the Duke of Windermere was attacked by an unknown Sarkaz weapon. We saw him absolutely blow a hole through it, didn't we? That was fucking badass. There were no survivors. A preliminary conclusion is that the weapon in question is indeed the structure that briefly appeared in the skies of Londinium. Was it the Bismarck? Based on frontline evaluation from the remote observation team, the weapon's powerful mid-air suspension abilities and efficiency of its Iridium arch generator deserve due caution. It is impossible to evaluate the Sarkaz's technological base for manufacturing large-scale armed aerial vehicles given the information we currently have. We are in the process of gathering more intel. However, until it has been proven that the Sarkaz possesses the technological means to mass-produce such weapons, we recommend against categorizing this target at the highest threat level for the time being, as countermeasures have already been deployed. UAI for stock trading get done inside... You know, a lot of people use AI bots in trading. It's a common thing now. It depends how well they're written, man. Some people's trash. Some people's work as well as about a trailing indicator, because most indicators are trailing indicators anyway. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people will talk about indicators like as if the gospel. When it comes to trading, a lot of the time, it's about pattern recognition and market understanding market volatility and understanding that levels are a major factor. Especially if it comes to like swing trading and stuff. Well, people will swear on like technical indicators sometimes. Like, bro, your technical indicator's 3 days behind. I've lost money using that. 5 years later, we'll have AIs emailing each other and no humans reading them for real. I think that sometimes, you know, when I get an email off a marketing company, I'm sitting there wondering, did an AI write this? AI straight off the internet, which is fucking right for dipshits. Well, yeah. Well, that's why AI can have inherent biases as well sometimes, can't it? I saw on Reddit, an AI musician is complaining that we need to type a prompt manually and there is no button to generate it automatically. What the fuck? Freeze AI is also heavily biased from the makers. Yeah. AI must be crazy good at day trading. I think it all depends. I don't know, man. And there's a lot of people who use bot networks in trading, though. You know what I mean? Is it legal? I don't know about in fucking the traditional markets as far as I'm aware. It's crypto, it don't matter, because it's very, like, lightly regulated, isn't it? However, oh yeah, we've already done. Countermeasures have been deployed. It should also be noted that the Norport Borough, Londinium's old logistics district, was separated from the main body of Londinium City yesterday. Oh, look at this. We've got the forces. Oh, shit. Look at this. Oh, this is sick. Oh, that's cool. The plate is now docked by itself between the city and the Londinium peripheral front formed by the various dukes. Okay, so it's just here, just outside the main city. The Duke of Castle and the Duke of Wellington bearing down on the city, and the Duke of Windermere coming in with his vanguard strike. We have reasons to suspect that the Sarkaz are trying to convert this plate into a forward operating base, using it to support their state of large-scale military operations in the foreseeable future. The jump-off point to attack these guys. It will likely also be used as a temporary stop for that large-scale Sarkaz weapon. The current commander of the Londinium Defence Forces, Lieutenant Colonel Leto, issued a statement claiming that Norbord was accidentally separated from Londinium's main body due to technical reasons. A large number of Londinium citizens still remain on the plate, and the Defence Forces are preparing to launch a rescue plan for these citizens. The remote observation team has provided several photos taken on the scene. Propaganda? As a blueprint to your factory. As a new Sama fan, I welcome the new AI overlords. Taco Bell went under for using AI for 2 years because it was a giant list of complaints that AI was getting a fuck ton of stuff wrong. Well, you see, with Google's AI is trash sometimes, you know, when you search it online. Like, the amount of times it'll come back with, like, contradictory posts. Bunch of pixies are because I realised I've been mispronouncing Victoria places. Oh, really? At the moment, we're not planning any large-scale operations against this plate. However, intelligence personnel believe that a series of irregular staffing transfers between the Duke of Windermere's mobile fortress and ironclad Galavay over the last 8 hours is likely related to the situation in Norport. Several analysts have pointed out that the Duke of Windermere's military claims to this plate are more radical than we previously anticipated, and the specific reasons behind this warrant a more in-depth investigation. We are monitoring the Duke's attitudes and subsequent actions in response to this Sarkaz attack, and will be submitting routine analysis reports at shorter intervals. Awaiting further instruction. Is this the plate that's dropped off here? And that's the main city of Londinium there. Technical reasons. They're unsophisticated, but it gets the job done. I know full well that we all care greatly about our own reputations, especially in the face of Victoria's coming future. So, they also decided to throw out a bit of bait, A flying fortress. It pains me to say this, but as long as they're holding Norport Borough at gunpoint, things are going to get messy. Now, even Wellington doesn't have the nerve to rush over with his high-speed warship, rain fire down on the old logistics area and snatch away his new toy. But he won't be able to resist the temptation. Affirmative. The Duke of Wellington troops have sped up their advance. We suspect he's already gained intel on the airship. This massive airship is indeed beyond our calculations, and it has the potential to reshape the future wars. But, as the intelligence says, we're far from the point of things spiraling out of control. I think we're beyond that. According to our estimates, even if the Sarkaz had a secret channel for transporting supplies, they wouldn't have had that time or resources to build multiple airships. Those damn devils can hardly bring out the value of this technology, but perhaps we can. That's right. Naturally, this is extremely important to me. Even if I don't give the order, I expect that you'll bring it to me. However, our gaze ought to be cast wider than just a singular piece of technology. What really worries me is we've let the Sarkaz run amok in the Shard for far too long. Even the most dim-witted fools will eventually figure out what lies behind those buttons and levers. Allerdale, I don't blame her. She was never ambitious enough. That was her strong suit, and I allowed her to keep it. But it doesn't look like there's any way to make use of her stone of the sword. Rest assured, the dukes who supported you, along with the vassals, are still resolutely on your side. I promise them peace and safety, and I will deliver. You're my parrot. Sounds like if it sounds like a smoke alarm. Forever honour one's commitments. That has always been the motto of House Caster since ancient times. I do like her design, you know? She's a MILF. Trilby Asher is already being dealt with. Naturally, I always have a way. Then, Your Grace, what about the citizens of Norport? Lieutenant Colonel Leto said that he was preparing a rescue plan. You won't go wrong putting your trust in that Gaulish commander. I've met him before. He's an interesting man. The Sarkas have never publicly claimed to occupy Londinium, as it has nominally been under the control of the defence forces. And this Lieutenant Colonel has managed to survive his position for 4 years without getting caught up in any major trouble either. We all know what those devils are like. So the fact alone is respectable enough. Who knows? Maybe he's more keen on becoming a saviour than we are. I see what you're saying. Getting the right people into the right positions and turning valued friends into truly loyal partners is harder than we initially expected. Old Wellington knows what I want, and I know what he wants. Though, we've never talked about these things openly. We naturally helped each other, all while keeping an extra knife sharpened for one another. Poor thing. Windermere's been playing with the Leviathan for so long, it might be a while until she remembers how Victoria works. Indeed, we still don't quite understand why the Duke of Windermere is so keenly interested in Norport's affairs. Does she also want the airship's technology? Maybe she wants to add another card to her land. She knows she's in for a rough time soon. With opportunity comes desire. Both are as honey, equally effective at leading people into the abyss. A cousin of mine failed to understand this, which is why he's been dead for 26 years. Is that the king? Talking about the king? You know, he still appears in my dreams from time to time. Can't say I ever liked him. He was a bombastic, self-righteous boy. When we were young, he'd run up and down the corridors of the palace spouting quotes from past kings he saw in some book. And he'd always spew the same trite platitudes. A role model for the masses. Noblesse oblige. What have you. Noblesse. He treated those words as his guiding compass. Well, they probably didn't even come from the kings they were attributed to. In all likelihood, they were flattering embellishments added by the royal archivist. He actually believed those words and paid with the price. Despite all that, I sometimes still miss him. During those years, he was still around. We could pretend that all was well. Now, even the dullest of men must open their eyes. Open their eyes and bear witness to all their ugliness, covetousness, and opportunism. War has broken out, and its advent has fully fulfilled everyone's wishes at all. Your Grace, this is also your chance to unite Victoria. Unity. Victoria has been trodden upon and sullied for far too long. You have the right to restore her glory. This war is for Victoria. No, my child. This war is not for Victoria alone. Victoria, how we love to speak the name of our country. No, it's something more than a rag to cover festering abscesses when the people are in need of morality, an empty husk to exploit hope when the people are in need of dignity. All those farmers, labourers, soldiers and nobles, all these who despise each other, who grope at each other's throats, why does lumping all of them together make the great Victoria? When they speak of Victoria, what is it they refer to? The fields they've tilled for half a lifetime, the factories that have gorged on their blood and tears, collections of looted artifacts. Hey, look, man, come on now. Slander. The fuck is slander? You know? You know? You know when you beat the French in Egypt, right? And you get to keep the cool shit? That's the French's fault for sucking, right? You know? You know? Winners win, right? Great hauls of imported carpets, a splotch of colour with a line of text on Atlas, or a news headline and a set of economic figures on a television set. Or is it the vast, glorious and invincible empire built upon the foundations of each man's imagination? Let us prepare ourselves. Let us wait with bated breath. Take a good look. Witness where this war will take us. GG. Yeah, fucking our government suck. Good day, sir. Let me guess. You want to be strung on that fence too, huh? To be honest, I don't have a lot of fun with that job. I suggest you turn around and crawl back to where you belong. No, please, wait, good sir. The others just wanted me to come talk to you. That's not what I meant. We just have a few trivial issues, so if you could show us a bit of mercy. When did you Victorians start taking us devils for a bunch of bleeding arts? All we wanted was to know what's going on at Norboltborough. And in Norboltborough. Nothing worth mentioning. What if... Look, we can still scrounge up some valuable trinkets. Surely you've heard of Sargon's gems. I have a number of them here. Get lost. I get it. You're not interested, huh? I also have a collection of old Gaulish paintings that are said to be priceless. Oh, alright. Maybe I was out of line to say that. This is going to cost me my life, isn't it? How about a Sancta Patron firearm? I just happen to have one stashed away back home. Interesting. You got your hands on an Angel's Guardian gun, huh? Oh, it's not mine though. It's just for safekeeping. Heavens, those angels from the Notorial Hall are going to flay me alive if they find out. But if you're interested, I just happen to hear you, Sarkaz enjoying collecting them, so... Listen up. I prefer my angelic toys freshly looted from a pile of corpses. Piss off. Sarkaz, we just want to know what's going on. This is a perfectly legitimate request. So many of us have been driven out of our homes and crammed into a little ghetto with no place to live, no food and no freedom. And all we want is an explanation. Are all these houses not good enough for you? Pick a door, any door, knock on one of them and get your sorry ass inside. What would you want? A bathtub with a built-in back massager? Can't treat us like this. What are the defense forces? I personally know Leto and want to speak with him. We haven't broken any rules. That's enough, mister. Be careful. Damn. They're armed. Go with me. What do I have to be careful for? Listen up, Sarkaz. I've lived here for 30 years and this is my city. This is my neighbourhood. I know you've taken over those factories. I know you lust after Londinium's wealth. So take it. Splitting off a few factories won't put a dent in Victoria's glory. For I am my own man. Not even the king can take my home. Tell me now. Why did Norboltborough drive out of Londinium overnight? What's the meaning of all these walls outside the borough? Hey, you trying to get yourself killed? What possessed you into thinking that you could challenge my authority? Wait, please, good sir. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It sounds like his guts just went all over the floor. What a waste. Listen up, you sorry worms. Tell the truth, I'd like nothing more than to slaughter each and every one of you right now. Seeing your faces makes me sick. But the boss says you lot are still useful. So I promised him I'd show a little restraint. This is the grace I've afforded you. But know that I can take it back just as easily. Hurry, run. Get away from here. Oh shit. Bro was like, yo, fuck it. Help! Bro ran off like... Run. Run as fast as you can, pathetic Victorians. You've had your fun already. Now it's your time to get a taste of the life you once forced onto us. Bro, we're gonna have some comeuppance here, man. I need to see some vitriolic retribution from Victoria. I need to see the factories going. I need to see rows and rows and rows of steam knights and battleships. And let's go to fucking war, boys. You know? Let's start raining down some Victorian fucking fire on their asses. Scorched earth. You know? Hide in every nook and cranny. Hide beneath every shadow. Rip up your morality and swallow your dignity. This is everything we Sarkaz have experienced. Now rejoice, because it's yours too. Call it equality? This is a kind of equality you never known. Explain myself. Answer your questions. No, this is war, you dipshits. Learn it. Embrace it. Just like we did for thousands of years. Victoria's anemic as shit. Well, it's not really that Victoria's weak. It's not obviously as what it was. It's just that greed and avarice and division has been allowed to fester between like the nobles in Victoria. They've all took the chance to like usurp the country, haven't they? It's the only reason the Sarkaz was allowed to get into the country and operate for as long as they did. Like they're at a point now where they feel like they can be a lot more open about it, right? But like if Victoria had acted in unity when they first turned up, they would have obliterated them, wouldn't they? But you know, it was allowed to happen because there was too many PC people, you know, working their end of the bargain, trying to get one up on other groups, weren't they? In hoping that it was going to advance their position. I think a lot of them thought that they could use the Sarkaz to topple the the tower, and then they could go in afterwards and claim the pieces and put it back together, kind of thing. Nah, keep your patriotism to yourself. Oi, where am I? I'll be blubbering already. Did you think they invited you here for a picnic? You can guess where the people who weren't so willing to come ended up. You're... Who's that? Bad. Call me bad. You're hurt, and you need your wounds dressed. Follow me. Boys. Boys. Syracusian here, you're a pansies.
Listen, everyone.
Listen here, you. With your
Stay
mafioso
calm.
control.
Picked out your bait yet?
I'm listening.
Imagine killing your king and inviting the devils, right? I'm saying they're smart. I'm saying they're smart. I really shouldn't have put her there, should I? She's like wasted there.
Don't keep me waiting.
There you are.
Really could do with another unit too.
I'll find
what's
the
it,
right
couldn't
place
I?
for myself too.
We fucked up a bit, boys. We might have to restart this. Might have to restart this. I thought we was going to get a lot of units going this way, man, but evidently not.
The wind is blowing in the right direction. He's a bad guy, yeah. He's sus. Bro, sus, yeah. Picked out your bait yet?
There we go. Oh, he does a bit of damage. Okay.
Here I am.
Nothing can mask the scent of despair. I've been waiting for a while.
Okay, so all the sus ones go this way. Okay. So, basically, she's on what's her duty? Border guard. She's the border guard, yeah?
Your weapons are right at your
Not really gonna be great for that issue, but whatever. I love how you can use the crystal, man. Sick. Yeah, you got the DB cap. Yeah. Oh. Man, I had a good chest day today. I felt my chest then. Oh, you know what of that? Oh, my chest started to cramp up right there. I can feel it proper tugging. Okay. With these guys as well, does it act the same way with the blocks?
Here I am.
Probably should have put Lappy over here, shouldn't I? Give us an extra bit of visual.
Don't think we can't hide your fear.
There you are.
I don't know why I wasted that. Need to wait for him to change first, don't I? I was just a dumbass. Dumbass move. Dumbass move. Alright, we're alright. Let's split this up to 2 times. Speed it up. Speed it up, boys.
I know what can sink your corpse into shadow. No one will find it.
Nice, go.
Mission accomplished.
colonized with spices that use everything. Then that's the one thing. I think that's just like a stereotype that people take from like people who love cooking terrible food on like TikTok and stuff. I remember Captain Cabinets put up a picture of a food that she cooked like not long back, and it was disgusting looking. And it's like, man, you know, average meals in the UK when you go out or eat at home, for most people, you know, they're pretty fucking. We have everything from everywhere, don't we? It's just for some reason the worst of the worst cooking in this country seems to go viral. Two seconds, chat. We're getting away 6 soon. You better start doing your E2. Alright. We should be safe here. Kaido. It's still a mess outside. Most certainly not in Londinium anymore. I reckon we can see the situation outside the plate from the top of the old loading tower. Can't get near me. It's outside the restricted area. And I reckon even if you could spot anything, wouldn't mean a thing. Sarkas keep a close eye, and too many of them. Alright. What's the old bloke story? He's trying to talk terms with the Sarkas. And how did that turn out? Take a look yourself. Piss in his pants. There. That's about all I can do. Bandaging your wound. Thank you. Goodness. Boy, just what happened? What else could have happened? Sarkas have been in Londinium for 4 years now. Can't possibly still think they're invited here by that poor sod Cavendish as his guests, right? But they haven't ever what? You must be one of those noblemen who never leave their mansions and need their maids to fetch them their morning sissy milk. Did you fall in so low to find yourself in Norport? No. I'm but a scholar. I have merely run into certain troubles financially. As soon as I finish my manuscript, I shall... Drat. Manuscript is still in my study. You've really got a knack for finding these poor down-on-their-luck bastards, don't you? Would you at least have some respect? If all goes well, it's very likely I'll become the Royal Academy of Sciences' next academician. Very likely. I still don't understand. The news kept saying that all is well. What do you want them to say? Friends and citizens, I sincerely regret to inform you that Londinium is now a shithole. The special instructors that they sent to the newspapers, offices and TV stations actually earn their keep, you know. Did you see whose flag they're flying above the munitions factory in Highbury? If not, you've got to at least remember the firing archer rig the other day, right? But the war? What about the defence forces, the Dukes? Aren't they defending us all around Londinium? How can this be? The Sarkas can't possibly triumph over the Dukes, can they? The Devils are a bunch of savages who cower in the wilderness, but Victoria is the greatest country across all the lands. Who told you that? You realise that out of nowhere while munching on cake at home? I didn't feel that way at all when the Dibbles held me up against the wall and frisked me. The Dibbles. What's the Dibbles? Alright, next academician. Off you go. And you don't belong here. Where can I go? My flat is not in this lockdown zone, and I haven't the slightest idea where my loyal servant is. I know no one here. What can you do? Medical work? Sewing? Repair? Anything? My research is his heraldry. This scholar of chaps ever studied how to turn in air into stakes? Well, it is by no means my area of expertise, but I'd imagine that it's a little difficult. Stop bringing these fancy lads back, will ya? He doesn't even understand sarcasm. We don't have a lot of supplies on hand here. Maybe he can help Delphine manage the warehouse. Damn. Stop trying to pass all your problems to me. Can't very well watch him die on the street. Times like this, we have to come together and unite as one. Even having one extra man on board is more power to us. Come together? I wish Parliament and the Dukes would learn from you people. We wouldn't have to fall into where we are today. You think they're not united enough? They're very well united when it came to hanging the king. That was... Never mind. I just hope you'll be of some use, Mr. Next Academician. I shall do everything in my power. Though, speaking of which, who would all of you be? Who are we? Alright, welcome to our gym. The Slobber Knocker. You can call us Glasgow. The Slobber Knocker. See the American monstrosity of sticking paste in a hot dog like candles and then boiling it to make... Ooh. No, I haven't seen that. A freaking hot dog should always be nice hot dog. Do you know what hot dogs are nice, which sounds mad? IKEA hot dogs are fucking banging. Good German sausage. Good German Frankenfurter, whatever you call them. Bit of mustard, bit of ketchup. That's all it needs. Maybe a sprinkle of onions on there as well. Banging. Heidi, how have you been? To tell the truth, I haven't any idea where you have been as of late. Ever since Mr. Adams, the bookshop owner, died, I haven't been able to reach you. Sendry meant pasta. Gathered as much. This is a good stage to have ops like lemon. Yeah. Suppose I could like, if I really want to like use a bit of range action, I suppose I could like totter and maybe like Firewatch, right? And be all right for that sort of stuff. It's been a long time since I last continued our work. Forgive me, my dear friend. I never hide anything from you. But I'm truly very befuddled. You once told me that peace would come again. But I can't feel myself full soap anymore. I can't hide in my room and pretend that everything we do is still meaningful. Right? You could look at things on a broader scale. The dimension of history. Of course, peace will come. It will. Eventually. And war will undoubtedly shatter in an even crueler way. I once thought that we could win, and I still hope that we will win. But, Heidi, if everything we have done amounts to nothing but self-comfort, no, not if, it might already be the truth. These books, these desks, and this school that may come crumbling down at any moment, were they meant to stand up against the force of a new era? Heidi, I can't keep going anymore. What should I do? Oh, this is that skin change here. In fact, you ever heard of the Knights combat sport? What do you want about like the actual full on, like they're in full armor with weapons like slightly blunted and stuff. Yeah, I've seen that shit. That shit's brutal as fuck. It's fucking cool as well. It shows how exhaustion was such a massive factor as well in those older scraps, right? No, because when in movies you see so much of like even swords slicing through armor and stuff, right? It's why like blunt weapons were so useful against armor, weren't they? And scrambling around on the floor and getting out like short blades and stuff to stick in holes and stuff in the armor, right? Something brutal. Eddie Golding, are you all right? Molly, you're back. Are you writing a letter? No, this is nothing. I just remembered a few novels that I read before. Protagonists are always charming, suave, always heading to the front lines, wearing a uniform befitting of them with a pipe in their mouths. But the authors never tell us which battlefield they head to, how the trenches smell. Those who are enamoured, the protagonist, both women and men, taste fine desserts with anxious hearts. Of course, we know these are all just literary techniques. The stories always end happily. Authors with a little bit of ambition might try to build what critics call a profound atmosphere. The stories are adorned with preventable deaths, and they're always a protagonist's comrade and dearest friend dying in the trenches to shield the hero. In the end, the wretched enemy finds themselves defeated by the hero's sword, thus restoring justice and morality. And at his fallen friend's funeral, a solemn crowd gathers to remember his heroics, his petals symbolising honour are scattered atop the casket. This is the most emotional part. The protagonist clenches his fist, wipes his tears, and looks toward the morning sun with resolve. And without fail, they always say that hope will come and all sacrifices will be meaningful. And that's where the author stops. Let the readers imagine for themselves that the truly beautiful future, let them bask in that stately feeling in the end. I'm surprised you've read these kind of novels. It was years ago. Everyone was that age once. I used to be obsessed with these books when I was still a young girl. I wasn't very attached to the protagonist, actually, but I was indeed obsessed with those deaths. Sometimes I managed myself, one of those heroics who sacrificed themselves for their cause, and the masses would sing my praises for the era I helped create, or at the very least, my sacrifice. You're childish. Later on, I thought I'd be clear-headed enough to see the past. Look, enough to see past these sugar-coated fantasies. Man, I had a stroke then. But then, I started to notice there might be nothing inherently different between who I am now and who I was back then. Don't say that. You told the children yourself. Death is a solemn topic. Huh, did I? I don't remember. Perhaps it was just the lectures that I've got so used to giving. How was the procurement today? Not too bad. The situation on the streets isn't very serious. These prices at the shops haven't gone up. Though, there were more city defence soldiers than usual. And the Sarkar soldiers are not as secretive as they used to be. But everyone was pretending as if nothing happened, except it used to be Norport. There is nothing left except the support structures extending from the surrounding districts. What about those places? I need to apologise to you again. I should never have dragged you into this. It's just Leto has his eyes on me, and every time I step out the door, I find myself followed by several ill-meaning men. I had no choice but to make a gamble. You are not on their watch list yet. No. I'm glad to do my part for Londinium. It's just that the places you told me about were all pretty quiet. I used the passwords, but no one answered. Maybe they've already given up. No, they're all stronger than I am. Much stronger. But I found a letter. It should be for you, so I didn't open it. Oh shit. Bitch, you read that shit? No, this isn't their handwriting. The letter has practically all the information on the Self-Salvation Corps. Self-Salvation Corps communications. What? And how could that... This is a threat. No, it's like the back of their hand. Then, what should we do, Lady Golding? Molly, I'll have another list of places for you. I've never been to these bases myself, but having analysed from the flow of information, they should be there. I shouldn't take this risk. This goes against our established practices, but this information is important to the Self-Salvation Corps, right? Many lives are on the line. Then we must do this. Molly, just as I taught you, watch out for anyone who could be tailing you, whether they are Sarkars or not. Do not let your guard down. I wonder if Golding knows. Look for a girl called Clavicia. Oh no. I guess she doesn't. Clavicia there, or anyone who can get in contact with her. Tell them that the entire intelligence network has been exposed. They must evacuate immediately. Lady Golding, where are you going? To Leto's office. I will try to buy as much time as I can for the rest of you. But relax. I'll be fine. I just hope I'm stronger than I think I am. I guess she doesn't, then yeah. Doctor, I had a dream. I saw the city shrouded in dark clouds and blood-stained Sarkars flags flew above every building outside the city. Originium grew everywhere. My eyes could see. I saw a rusted throne towering above the lands. The masses kneeled before it, crying tears stained in black. I saw the person on the throne wave their arm, and the shouts that followed pierced the sky. Yet in the shadow of the throne, the cowering men lifted their heads ever so slightly. I felt what they felt. I don't know how to describe it. It was all over the place, so stifled. I could only make out what was on the surface. That pain and hatred. Who was that on the throne? Is this the future that the collective souls of Sarkars foresaw? Or is this the duty of the King of Sarkars? Did Teresa have this dream? Could this be the sight she's looking forward to now? No, it can't be. Doctor, this dream, it doesn't mean anything, right? It's just a dream. Thank you, Doctor. Right, it was just a dream. Mommy? Amir, Doctor. Dr. Calcit better? Hard to say. Her body was frail to start with, and her wounds are deep. Shining has attempted several solutions, but all of them were limited in their effectiveness. She has yet to awaken. Monster seems to be slowly repairing itself. Likewise, we do not have any idea how well it will recover, or whether it can actually even recover. Doctor, the Defence Forces command tower, if only None of us expected to see Theresa's Dr. Calcit. I never once imagined that Dr. Calcit would one day be wounded this badly. She always solved all our problems like they were nothing. She gave us the best advice for every situation. She's Dr. Calcit. I've never even seen her look tired. No? Doctor. I know. I will bear the responsibilities that are mine to bear. Rhodes Island's mission here is far from over. But I want to see Dr. Calcit one more time. May I? Even if it's just sitting there by her bed for a short while. Rather than staying with the wounded, you two have more important work to do. Closure wants you to know that she has finished analysing the data from the command tower. Clivicia is calling a meeting. We need to reevaluate the situation in Londinium. War has broken out. And please tell us what our steps should be.
Work's over.
Oh,
Time
no,
for
death
a
kill.
drink. Where's Texas?
Ascalon ain't that old. I reckon she's about 30, yeah? That's a vibe I get. Ah, maybe not. Just the fact of how, like, good she is at what she does, yeah? She's got a few years under her belt in that regard, right? Content creator I used to know before, man. He's totally switched to, like, you could tell a little bit that he was writing in scripts with AI. But he's totally switched now to AI voices everything. And I think he's just churning out content for loot bar sponsors. It's just like content took a hit, man. Alright then, let's have a look at this. Ooh. Lots of no access here. Okay. Interesting. I think it might be a good idea to have somebody who's got a decent bit of range, yeah. I'm thinking, do we bring in like a Totter or something actually? You know? I'm gonna drop Canterbury and I'm gonna bring in somebody with a bit of extra range. Bit of range. Indigo might be useful actually, no, we're gonna go, I think, I'm gonna go Firewatch. Yeah. I think we're gonna go Firewatch. Yeah. But he's pretty accurate for us. Yeah, I'd say around about something like that, right? Early 30s or something like that. She feels like she's a, like, you know, a warrior that's definitely got some experience, right? You know, the way like Inez and Holdera are about her, you know? She's definitely experienced, at least, which would require a good few years. Amir, Doctor, you're here. Huh. As you can see, the morale here is rather low right now. It's a mess, but please pay it no mind. Ever since Aladal left, our logistics have been in shambles. But given the problems we face, this is the best solution we have. We lost many in our last battle. We once thought that these sacrifices would not be in vain, and that as long as we stopped the Sarkas projects, everything would still be salvageable. Regrettably, they acted much faster than we anticipated. Sarkas, not only do they have the shard, they've also built that airship. The report has been distributed to everybody. The airship attacked the Duke of Windermere's army out in the open. The illusion of peace is shattered. As for the shard, the Sarkas willingly started this war, and their control of the shard must have proceeded much further along than we expected. I'm too afraid to make this gamble. Aladal once told me the legend of this sword. She said that the size of kings is capable of rending catastrophes asunder. Asunder is Victoria's strongest shield, and which the country can defend against the storms pulled toward it. And she must have also told you that the Stone of Sword beneath the palace exists precisely because there are too few who can activate this power. Siege, do you really feel nothing from the sword? Maybe, I don't know, like a sense of being summoned, or perhaps there's a low heat? Maybe you can suddenly use some really wicked Originamarts? You just might actually be able to... Is that the sword? No, nothing. The sword is cold and hard. It's a little lighter to swing than a hammer. Not very easy to control your strength with. Is there nothing else? Any part of you feels a little bit off? We should have this polished before it sees the battlefield again. It's a little rusted. It seems we can't count on the sword doing us much of a good turn and helping us fend off the threat from the shard for the time being. Sarkas might just think twice before they activate the shard, which also won't become in a bargain into the Duke's internal strife. Right, Doctor of Rhodes Island. It is better for this sword to be under our control than any other faction. At the very least, being able to prevent it from becoming an accomplice to this war is important enough. Important enough? This is important enough. Aladal, if only I... Please don't get discouraged, Siege. Maybe you haven't gotten the hang of it, but it's not time yet. I'm just about done analysing the supply line, Doctor. It's practically guaranteed that the starting point is rural Brentwood, but it's got a lot of endpoints. Aside from the munitions factory in Highbury, it's very likely they have a route that extends underneath the shard. We found out way too late. If only we'd found out 10 days sooner, things probably wouldn't have turned out the way they have. That said, the intel about the supply route is still meaningful, Doctor. If this route is capable of the transport of heavy supplies and lead leads straight to the bottom of the shard, this is an opportunity for a counter-offensive. That's right. With war having broken out, there may not be a lot of guards around Theris. Each Lord of the Royal Court has to command their subordinates to fend off the Dukes. The Liches joining the fray would be a problem. From what I know about them, they wouldn't truly pick a side. Besides, I'm sure Dame Calcit talked to their messenger before. I just hope they opted to follow her advice. Now, we'd best... Vina, you ought to best bring up what happened in Norport. It's our turf that those Sarkas arseholes gutted out. Birdie's still there. Bloody bastards, instead of counter-offensive on their supply line, we should be helping them. Calm down. You must think about the whole situation. You little twat. Oh my days. Bro. We've had piss. We've had bastards. We haven't had an F-bomb, have we? Twat. Even though that's part of my vocabulary all the time, right? The fact she said twat is kind of fucking funny. You know? You twat. You little twat. You think being a knight gives you the right to teach me to look at the big picture? I don't give a shite about wiping out some old Sarkas monsters. My friends are in danger. My home is in danger. And you want me to bloody stand aside and do nothing? No. I know you're restless, but we must consider all possibilities. I do not recommend splitting up until we are certain the ones who attempted to take the Realm Blade have given up. You'd best. Yeah, twat's just surprising that he used the word twat. Yeah, I think I remember now. I like it. I like it. Too many games are too clean, too sterile with the language, right? Especially in a game that like stuff's happening. You know, people are dying. It's like you see that sometimes in TV shows, especially like in more Americanized stuff as well. A little bit more liberal with the swear words in the UK. I think it's got a bit better in America as well. But you see a show where people get murdered and then they don't like to use certain words. That's alright blowing someone's head up, but don't say fuck a bugger. Best cower underground like cowards. Give me a break. We could take care of those sneaky bastards that we have to do. What we have to do now is enough, Indra. Fine. When will the operation targeting Theris commence? Not very soon. We need time to observe the supply line specific situation. The shard's internal structure needs to be investigated too. Theris says he's powerful. Letting our guards down would only spell our doom. How long will it take, more specifically? Less than half a month? I hope to put a stop to all of this before he truly activates the shard. Less than, fuck, 2 weeks. Damn. Well, mate, that is a good amount of time, right? Hey, yo, guys! If you haven't already as well, drop a like on the stream. It's much appreciated, guys. It helps out a lot as well. Helps out a lot. See if we can get to 50 likes. 50 likes. We're like 11 off 50 likes. That's not good enough. Dr. Pixeltree, I'm requesting a temporary leave before this operation. Please rest assured that I will be back before the operation is to commence. So you insist on going to Norport? I've lost enough friends already. Clivis here. I can't just do nothing over and over again. I'm making this request out of my personal feelings. Yes, I won't try to hide this. But at the same time, I think this is an opportunity. Before our normal operation officially begins, we can first remove certain hidden threats. For example, those who hurt Aladal and those who want at the size of kings. That's without a doubt a duke. no matter what position he's planning to take, I think I should have a conversation with him. Ascalon said this already. Time is not on our side. I understand. I will handle this properly. Doctor, what do you think? There are still things worthy of our attention on that plate. Right. The Sarkaz airship is very likely docked in Norport. And this also implies Teresa might be there. In this war, we'll have to face her sooner or later. There is another thing. Logos mentioned to me. Emergency. Emergency. The Sarkaz ambushed Camden Borough safe house. Their forces... Camden, what's going on? Alert. The safe house at Osterig. Being ambushed. If anyone read this, I was always confused. What's a sigh of kings? Is this just a king's sigh recorded weird? Yeah, I was. It's like even that's the size of kings as well, like as a plural. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is an odd one. Feist, the safe house in Highbury is under attack. What's the situation over there? We're mounting a counter-attack and are evacuating underground. The situation's dire. It's likely that the Sarkaz have... This is not a simple annihilation. They are planning to... Granny! Granny, do you hear me? The transmission's cut off. What's going on? We have 3 safe houses under attack by the Sarkaz. Their communications are being cut off. We must back them up immediately. No, it's not just the 3 safe houses. Their communications are being cut off. Get down, Doctor. Don't know where we are. Clavicia, what's going on? Can this be? Here. This place is top secret within the Self-Salvation Corps. This is because of what happened with Golding. Logos mentioned to me that it's possible the Sarkaz have infiltrated our intelligence network. Based on the situation we now find ourselves in, I can only assume that failure of our confidentially far exceeds what we anticipated. It's very likely that the Self-Salvation Corps bases are under attack. We must evacuate. Where can we go, though? Everyone, the Sarkaz assault is fierce. They've had their eyes on this place for a long time, and the roots of the surface have already fallen. Oh, shit. The mid-level buffer zone has been breached too. Doctor, the enemy is using a new Sarkaz witchcraft device. Their numbers and strength, their defense forces and Self-Salvation Corps friends won't be able to withstand this assault. Truth be told, we have no chance of winning. Robin, who's in charge of organising defence, won't last very long. How much time can they buy us? 15 minutes? No. Half an hour? That's all the time we have. Evacuate. Where are we supposed to run? There isn't anywhere safe for the Self-Salvation Corps to go in Londinium. The equipment factory's 3rd warehouse. Car park at Four Seasons department store. Maybe Viscount Burns' mansion? No, they're all too risky. There has to be somewhere else. If it's dangerous everywhere in Londinium, we can evacuate the city for the time being. Evacuate Londinium? But... Right, the Sarkaz supply line. We can use the supply line in Highbury and get the hell out of Londinium. We've got too many wounded men and non-combatants. Taking an underground route will help us avoid most of the fighting. All of our work in Londinium. The onslaught we are facing tells us that they simply thought that they had no need to wipe us out before. Now the war has broken out. The military commission has started to truly see the Self-Salvation Corps as a threat. I have no time to hesitate. I need to head out immediately to back up Robin. We will try to draw the Sarkaz main forces' attention the best we can to cover your evacuation. Very well. Amir, Doctor, the Self-Salvation Corps will need your assistance in this evacuation. We will never abandon our allies. Ascalon, meant to break out. Understood. Logos, I'm here. Help Horn and her team buy us time. Rest assured, Doctor. I will guarantee your safety. Before we could finalise plans to relocate and secure our communications, the Royal Court picked the perfect time for this annihilation operation. Ah! He said think! It seems they know us better than we ever imagined. Terrorist has also gotten sharper. Not like when he's simply pretending. It's certain that this place will fall. I guess it won't matter if we go all out. Logos, we will be back. You can rebuild this place. Next, we need to find the entrance to Hypergryph supply route. Vice, this is where you come in. Understood. Everyone, come with me. Closure, take all the wounded and non-combatants and go with them. I'm counting on you and Shining to take care of Calcit. What? Huh? Hey, Dr. Pixeltree, what kind of sick joke is this? If I'm supposed to be a non-combatant, and so are you. You bet your ass I can beat the crap out of you. It's you who should be evacuating with the rest of them. Bro. Amir and Ascalon will make sure I will be safe. Doctor, I won't let you get hurt. So we've got 3 teams. Horn, Misery and Logos will lead the primary operation to resist the Sarkaz assault. Doctor, you go with Amir and Siege's gang to hold the other Sarkaz pursuers. Shining and I will follow the rest of the Self-Salvation Corps and evacuate this place without making any noise. Where are we going to meet up in the end? The small town outside Londinium, Brentwood. Alright, objective confirmed. We're now in war. It won't spare anyone. Any one of us. We also mustn't lose hope.
Arknights, are you to blame for this battle?
I won't sleep on the job.
I won't sleep on the job.
Picked out your bait yet? Don't keep me. Can't hide your fear.
Bastard. Oh, he's a bastard. Of course he's a bastard. I could do with Totty, yeah. Oh, that would actually be useful, right?
I know what to do. I will sink your corpse into shadow. No one will find it.
Okay, we're good. We need some more DP.
I'm in position.
There they go.
Here I am.
Nothing can mask the scent of despair. I got this. Focus elsewhere.
Pop her there.
This execution is not worth witnessing.
Alright, we're good. We're good so far. We're good. We're good. Are they just gonna come out of here? Do they come from nowhere else? Is this just the place where they come from? I like potentially getting swarmed there. It's probably kind of high.
Follow me into the shadows. You can't hide your fear.
We should be careful with that, shouldn't we? Alright, we're good, we're good.
The depths will devour your bones.
Right, she says that's so dirty.
Right behind you. Mission accomplished.
Average vampire woman. Right? Man, I'm simping. I already am. Typical viewer chill stream. Now imagine Fluorite saying that. I know, dude, like just imagine some of the voice lines in the future. Like, oh my days, man. You know? Swipe! Come in. You're here, Golding. Leto, you know what's better than I ever imagined? What do you mean? The Londinian Self-Salvation Corps. Where did you get this information from? Does it matter? Have a seat, Lady Golding. Please, there is no reason for you to feel anxious. This war is not between you and I. Answer me, Lieutenant Colonel. I know why you came, Golding. You want to buy time. You're under impression you have enough leverage to discuss terms. You think you can still help your friends. How regrettable. I thought you would be wiser. We have a conversation not too long ago. You said you did not want to see Londinium become the next Lingons. Take a look around us. Take a look at the deep abyss that Londinium is plunging into. Is this the choice you made for yourself that you spoke about? Golding, didn't you rebut me on that? Correct. We are plunging toward that abyss. War has begun. War once tore apart Gaul, our homeland. What will it tear apart this time? Maybe it will be the Sarkaz. Maybe it will be Victoria. You know how disastrous this will be. Hundreds of thousands, millions of people will bleed, die, and buried by this hero. You know all that better than anyone. That is correct. I know this very well, but I must also admit that it was you who opened my eyes. You made me reflect on my decision. If I had to question my conscience, I would not have cared nearly as much. Let us cast aside those hypocritical high hopes of mankind or civilization, Golding. When we were young, we talked freely of these subjects and, with nothing but admiration in our hearts, sung the praises of the outstanding men and women in history. Mankind, the transfer of all things. Our intelligence and bravery set us apart from wild beasts. The master of all things. Why did I read that as transfer? Bro, I swear sometimes I'm freaking just retarded. I think I'm dyslexic though sometimes, I swear. Mankind, the master of all things. Our intelligence and bravery set us apart from wild beasts and graced these lands with this radiant miracle. But if we simply lifted our heads from the books and compare, we would realise how close their endings are to the reality before us. The same downfalls, the same rottenness, the same self-destructions. What if all those things we sing the praises of were nothing but temporary illusions? What if believing that they are eternal makes us naive? What if destruction was our true nature? You weren't so pessimistic before, Leto. Pessimistic? Golding, you are so kind with your choice of words. You describe my crazed music as just pessimistic? I thought I warranted harsher criticism. The fuck? It seems you are not as resolute as I thought you would be. I am simply exhausted. I merely started to try facing reality. It is very painful, but I have no other choice. As for the conversation we had the other day, I can now offer you a new answer. I did not choose any missions for myself, Lady Golding. I openly wanted to survive the ceaseless destruction. It's pitiful and weak, insignificant and inadequate, but this is the answer I arrived at, and it is the only one I have to offer. What else can I do? You're a soldier. You should have followed orders. Whose orders should I have followed? The king is dead. The Sarkaz run parliament, and each duke has his own master plan. You could have become a hero. At what cost? What if the price is not one that I can afford? When you walked into the room, did you see the eyes of the guards standing by the door? The officers under me, my comrades, and those bewildered young men. Till has 5 children. Sassan's mother has been paralysed for 3 years, and Totten's brother has neuropathy. The vampires will suck their blood dry. Going down will not prevent anything. At the very least, nothing has happened yet as of today. Golding, it's my hope that you survive this as well, speaking personally. Fundamentally, you and I might just be of a kind. It's only that I have chosen to give up while you are still standing firm. You and I are nothing alike. You asked me where I obtained the information on the Londinium Self-Salvation Corps. Very well, I shall answer for you. From a cowardly teacher. To you saying, look at yourself, Golding. Your blunders and the tracks you left behind are owed to your cowardness and fear. Sentimental kinds have never been a good fit for intelligence work. You've known that from the start. No, it can't be. There's been a lot of chatter on my communications here. Sarkaz ambush. Camden Borough safe house. Their forces. I like chapter 12 as well. It's sick. I really like it. Chapter 12 is great, but chapter 13 has such a unique way of storytelling compared to the other chapters. Really? Okay, I'm interested to know. Look, the safe house at Udderig. Hello? Can anyone hear me? This is the Magnapura safe house. We're under... Oh. Golding? They're dying because of you. You pushed them into the fire. This is what your fight brings. He's not only a coward, he's a bastard as well, right? And for that, I can only mourn. Give me the balls. There's too many men. Too many men, too many men. They're well equipped and they're working far too well with each other. Mercenaries aren't capable of this. These are military elites. Every one of them is a bloodthirsty machine who dug his way out of 1,000 battles. Into the way, the lot of you. Don't think you won that ball. Indra, watch your back. This isn't going to work. We're on the back foot right now. I will locate the position of their commander. Amir, maintain formation. Don't stop. Right, I got it. Damn, there's more of them. Down this alley. Stay close, Doctor. We will cut our way through. Go forward 300 meters and take the first left. What's that? Who's that? Is that the sword? Hurry up. There are more ambushes on the roof. Doctor, did you hear that? That voice? Oh, it's not the sword then. Watch out for their arts. Cut through this danger zone. Hold on tight, Doctor. Did you just pick me up? Did you pick me up like a little baby? Left. Let's listen to that voice. I hate being ordered around. Fine. Imagine getting picked up and carried by Amia. You know? Because they're short cheese. Just carrying you under your arm like that. 50 meters and to your right. Bloody... It's a wall there. No. Some kind of illusion, perhaps. Charge through it. We're going into Diagon Alley. There's no one I hate more than a sneaky bastard like you. Show yourself. That assassin of yours has already taken down the commander of your pursuers. You are safe for the time being. Damn, man, Ascalon, don't fuck around. I said show yourself. You're a wizard, Harry. Her name is Ascalon. Is it impressive? Doctor, behind me? Who are you? Please, there is no need to fret, dear Rhodes Islanders. A few of my colleagues just touched base with Alexandrina not too long ago. Alas, it did not go too well. You are the man behind Aladale. Show yourself. I won't say it again. Man, I can feel my chest pulsating there from Jim to Dome. Please lower your hammer. Your Highness, you are merely wasting your strength. So you got a fucking minigun, bro. As heir to the throne, from a certain viewpoint at least, you should have a bit more patience. You said so yourself not too long ago, that we should have conversation. You had the self-salvation core tapped. That evacuation plan was to be successful. Do note that this is a promise, not sarcasm. Who's this? Yo, dude's design is sick. My sincerest pleasure to meet all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope there remains room for our objectives to coexist. An Ashen Trilby? Very perceptive, Lady Isabel Montague. I should have expected no less from a sign of the Count of Manchester. Indeed, we are often referred to as the Trilby Ashes. Should you have the chance, please send your mother my regards. Please, there is no need for alarm, Lady Montague. I harbour no ill will against you and your friends at the moment. Is the arts gimmick you have over there a gesture of real goodwill too? I'm not fond of having conversations next to a pile of explosives. This is merely a precaution. Well then, here's a precaution too. Lower your weapon, Miss Ascalon. It is not worth it. Rhodes Island Pharmaceuticals made a series of passage and call permit requests for so-called industrial waste recycling and processing purposes currently hiding within the territory of the Duke of Gododin. Currently 631 kilometers away from Londinium. And what if we are... Miss Amia, I surmise your recycling work is proceeding at pace. You know Rhodes Island well. We do merely what must be done. You've been very careful. You charted your course and built a well-hidden supply network around your ship. You wish to avoid Victoria's attention. And you almost fooled us. Regardless of whether your intentions are good or otherwise, wouldn't you agree that discretion is worst quality there is to a ruler? Who do you serve, Mr. Trilby Asher? At all possible, I would say that I serve Victoria. Alas, the reality is that I serve only a small part of Victoria. This small part is more than enough to keep me well occupied, however. Which means you work for one of the dukes. The Duke of Wellington saw us as a threat. Rhodes Island would already been attacked. The Duke of Windermere's control has yet to reach the Duke Gododin's territory, not by a long shot. From what I know, the Duke of Normandy is more interested in business. Most other dukes are fence-sitters. You work for Castor. Doctor, the commander of Rhodes Island. There exists very little information on you. We were under the impression that this was due to a lack of importance. We will evaluate our internal appraisal. Man! Diagonally. Right. I was thinking that every time I say diagonally, I think of that. Did he just say diagonally? I like that. You know? We don't know much about you. It's probably because you ain't important, right? Rather than, oh, you're that guy, right? Everybody talks about you. You know, which I know the Doctor gets a lot of that. But it's not nice, like, when stuff like this happens. It's like, wait a minute. Shit. This is why we don't have information then. Okay. The bloodborne looking boy, right? When Pick said it might be the sword talking, I remembered Excalibur from Soul Eater. Right, that's what I was thinking. In my head, I was thinking, oh, is that why it's called the Size of Kings? Does it talk to you now and again? And then it's just like, gone. I guess I better help you out then. Go down there. Yeah. Take a left. Oh my God, you're so stupid. You know? What is Rhode Island worth to that part of Victoria you speak of? We actually do not have much of an interest in a so-called pharmaceutical company that deals in waste recycling. Your operator has a very unique background. Moreover, she possesses something important. You failed once, but you still haven't given up. This is my job, Your Highness. That does not make things harder for each other. This sword is nothing more than a heavy rod of iron in your hands. What do you intend to do with it? Can you really cut through the catastrophe that looms above us? It is a mere tale. You cannot wield it to its true potential. What does Duke of Castor want to do with it then? To fulfill a promise. A promise? Bring her followers peace and safety. We do indeed have certain technologies that can immediately put this blade to good use, just as the Size of Kings once sheltered Londinium. The Duke wishes for this blade to become a turning point for unity. In that case, those who aren't on your side will deservedly be swallowed by the catastrophe. That is how it will become the turning point. I really do like his design though. Doctor, I will make my move in 3 seconds. We must escape the situation. Our operators on the landship are more than capable of taking care of the crisis that could soon unfold, and so we have to take this risk. 3, 2, Inez. 1. All of you seem pretty tense. Perhaps I came at a bad time. Right on time. Inez. Oh my days. Yoink. What? Miss Trilby Asher, you have to admit that you came well prepared. 13 small communication stations with 4 of them triggered passively. They were set up to automatically send out orders if they don't receive your message after 10 minutes. I didn't want to venture a guess as to what orders they were meant to send out, so I took the liberty of crushing them all. I hope you don't mind. Your subordinates were very strong, even after they heard the word vampire. That said, I believe that aside from the Sarkaz Royal Court, there are certain others hiding in the city who would have been very interested to learn of their existence. Tell me, where do you suppose I should take them? Bro, Valley love. Ooh, good idea, actually. That could be a good wallpaper. Inez, former Sarkaz mercenary. It's hardly surprising that you were still alive. We've determined for some time now that someone was behind all these little tricks around Londinium. You've done very well. We know that there is a sizable number of Sarkaz mercenaries inclined to leave the Military Commission's control. We both know what that does. We both know that does not come without a cost, don't we? Your business partner might be in fairly dire straits. Damn those thighs. Perhaps we should be a little more blunt with each other. I know you have more tricks up your sleeve, and you know we still have some trump cards in our hand. Let's stop probing each other. Your shadow tells me you are wavering. Very well. Let's make a deal. I have a tricky mission, but as you can see, I'm not much for fighting an adventure. So you want someone to die in your stead. I have faith in your abilities. Certainly, you have already seen the airship that is currently parked at the now isolated Norport Borough. Make your way there and get your hands on its schematics. What's in it for me? You get to live. For now. You, your friends, your allies, your wounded, and your landship all get to remain alive for the time being. This is no trouble at all to Victoria. But as for the rest of you... Deal.
少し待て。組織サンプルを採取する必要が。
The PCs are on the move, chat. The PCs are on the move. I'm assuming this is where a lot of the civilians are going to be. Situation like this, it's thinking like units, healers that, you know, like what would it be, like your perfumers and stuff. So you get 2 tiles in and 1 tile here, so you can get some heals on units and get visual eyes on, like, you know. I'm assuming that's gonna be civilians coming out of there at least anyway. Get a bit of popper car action. Fuck yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. How quick to answer, Doctor of Rhodes Island? A safe location has been sent to Alexandrina's terminal. Please stand by there. I cannot guarantee your safety for any actions you take outside of our arrangement. My terminal? When did you have some impressive talents among your ranks? That's very good. This should contribute to our common goal instead of becoming an obstacle to our cooperation. Right? It's a Victorian thing to call threats cooperation. Regrettably, yes. Please await our next communication. Doctor, I need to contact Closure and re-evaluate the safety of Rhodes Island's communications. Until then, maintain radio silence. Of course, we also need to take care of the issues regarding the land ship's calling procedures. Thank you, Inez. Hello, Inez. Is this the first time we've met? I'm afraid not. I've lost some of my memories. I'm aware. This is our first meeting for this version of you. Have you really lost your memories, or is it the part of your plan? What makes you ask that? I've never been quick to judge, Dr. Pixeltree. I can sense that you've gone through some changes. We'll have a lot of time to get reacquainted in the future. Rather than trusting verbal statements, I prefer to see things for myself. Inez, the doctor... Relax, Samia. My prejudice won't be a factor. For now, just strangle me with your thighs, it's alright. I'll go out. I don't mind. Take one for the team. The evacuation's almost complete. Good. We need to get out of here ASAP. Yeah, I did, Jefflix. Sarkaz from Rhodes Island, his name is Logos. And I thought we'd seen all the surprises Rhodes Island's fighting style had to offer. Having fought alongside Misery all this time. And Darknight's manner. Right, it doesn't matter who exactly he is. His Cursecraft has been a great help. Ah, and he's a great darts player too. I played against him for a couple rounds. His accuracy might just be terrifying as those arts of his. A friend of mine taught me a couple of tricks before, that's all. He's not a match for me in a chair sliding match. When it comes to darts, a chair sliding match, he's not so bad. What the fuck is a chair sliding match? The fuck? Ah, I got a spot there, man, there is. Horn, the Sarkas forces have retreated. We should seize this opportunity. According to the plan, Rhodes Island and the Self-Salvation Corps will take the supply route, head towards the exit, and make their way to a town called Brentwood to build a new safe house there. We will regroup with them. I suggest we charge toward the city walls. Norport Borough is gone, and even though the Sarkas have patched up the walls, they wouldn't have had enough time to build new plates to fill that hole there. The exposed underground structure might just help us somehow. Oh! Bitch! Get her! Looks like I've met another old friend. The one who taught you to play darts? Regrettably, no. Unlike this old friend, my friends are loyal to one another until our deaths. Everyone, I'm afraid I still have matters to attend within the city. Horn is more than capable of leading you outside Londinium. My co-worker Misery will lend you his assistance should you need a rise. Understood. Stay hidden, everyone. Follow me. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Yo, Ken, what's up, bruh? They get rolling chairs and race on them. It seems to do office chair racing, yeah? Just imagine Logos, ah! You know, around the office. Logos first mentioned, no, this is a chair talking about chair racing. It's an ongoing joke with Rhodes. Oh, okay. Big check Discord general Enfield news. I'm gonna look at that. Oh yeah, we looked at this at the start of the stream. This is the one I looked at, yeah. Yeah. I probably got a video going up about this. I'm loving the fact they didn't yo-star us, man. And hopefully this means it's going to be rectified. I so hope so. Obviously, I know that it's talk at the minute, but I hope it does. I hope it does. I'm in this vid. What vid? Gender first, game second, and now Ricardo vid. I'll have to have a look at that in a bit. Dude, bro, he's always PvPing, right? Are the mountains of the past really so worthy of reminiscing? Blood and tears are nothing to be obsessed with. I must say, I'm not entirely fascinated by them. What if the mountains are the only place there is left to stay? What if the only light of glory there can give us warmth? You got called out for Celosaura. Bro, I've been getting called out for Celosaura since day one. Couldn't give a fuck. We'll see how much money it makes. And here, I thought I'd hunted enough of you. This is the 31st Molly. You're a hard-working one, Banshee. But you prevailed nonetheless. You helped Theresis decimate the Self-Salvation Corps. That's business. I would pry up every tile in Londinium to find the last of your hidden shards. Gamatzi. You yet refute the possibility of change. This has always been your choice. To me, do you know what? With Ricardo, dude's like the biggest flip-flopper I've ever seen, like privating and unprivating his videos and talking about not wanting to get in this and then wanting to get in this, and his whole channel is just like poking at different CCs all the time, desperately trying to get into something, like, you know what I mean? Like, he has some good videos from time to time, not gonna lie. Always feels like he's picking for it. He's hunting for a fight with people, though. Do you know what I mean? Latest post in general. What was there a post about the what's it writing? Racing. What's this? Oh, okay. All right, let's get this. I've got to get wrapped up soon. You yet refute the possibility of change. This has always been your choice. A little arrogant, aren't we, young Banshee? We understand change. We come from change itself. But change is merely a means to adaptation. All change is a final objective. Even before the Sarkas found themselves in this state, we had long been walking upon the lands. Ideologies, faiths, missions, slogans, none of them can escape the sands of time. Those ideas you mistake as novel have been conceived long ago. The paths you have deemed noble have been paved time and again. And where are they now? You've yet still before you. And that is the greatest proof. Bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Phew. You should save some strength, Kaido. You've eaten more than enough. Delphina's talked to you about your appetite problem already. We're much worse off than we used to be now. Relax, bird. Things haven't completely gone to shit yet. Them devils aren't nearly as strong as they look. All they did was catch us off guard. I had a chat with Marshall from the Transport Union. They have a group of men over there. Once we rope in more people on our end, we might just stand a chance to defeat the Sarkas. Just like how we joined forces with those other gangs to take the cops down. Jump them from behind, get the job done clean, pow pow bam. A couple of punches, that's all it takes. Sarkas' army isn't cops. I know, they're a force to be reckoned with. We aren't afraid of blood. We aren't afraid of sacrifices. We will walk over our fallen comrades and smash their faces in with our fists. Like how Jim's name, Slobber Knocker. I think you really need to change that. I'm gonna lie. I'm a bit Slobber Knocker, bro. You wanna come Slobber Knocker? What? Nah, mate. I don't want to. Sounds. Nah. Marshall and I worked it out. We will definitely win. Just like those bootleg lungman videos you collect them. I'm serious. I've been around the block in Norbort, not much shorter than you. We need to find a way out before this mess out of this mess ourselves, just like before. That siege of yours just up and left Glasgow all those years ago, and the turf got handed over. Just like that. It was you and I who racked our brains to figure out how to gain a foothold there, get here again. Is there later on a wheelchair racing video? I've been wanting to watch that but couldn't find it. This is nothing different than before. We stand together, get prepared, and beat them all up. That's how we've made it this far. It doesn't matter how things are outside. Out on the streets, we do things the street way. Next, we just gotta find ourselves the right moment. Looks like Delphine's back. Did old Baldy finally give in? Given the circumstances, we're paying a pretty decent price. I'm sure he... What's this? Is that blood? Old Baldy Purr is dead. Sarkas? No, not the Sarkas, damn it. I have no idea who they were, but they were already at it when we got to the store. They were a bloodthirsty bunch. I saw with my own eyes. There was this man with a crowbar pinning another man to the floor. That man even... I'm not coughing. The situation's bad. I guess he's some starving bum set his sights on Purr's shop. Idiot still had bread in his glass showcase. It went as you'd expect. You can more or less guess how many of these bums there are in this lockdown district. Bloody idiots. Whatever they've been sniffing must have finally got to their heads. Another man with the crowbar. He's a tail hair product salesman. A tail hair it makes sense, I guess, in the world people with a tail hair product salesman, you know. And always had a smile on his face. I like her design. I bought from him a number of times since he gave me discounts. They aren't all that good though. I saw him just now. His eyes were deep red. There was blood on his lips. Crowbar was completely bent. I almost didn't recognise him. Fear is spreading, Kaido. Like Delphine's mother more. Who's a mother? The Transport Union guys did say there could be Howard's going nuts, but how could... Barricade the door. What are you spacing out for? Make yourself useful, Kaido. Push that sofa over here. Bloody bastards. What do the lot of you want? Piss off. We've got people alive in here. This is Glasgow's territory. Bad, watch out. The fire axe smashes through the gym's thick door and breaks open a hole. The sharp axe brushes past Baird's hair. A few strands of her hair flutter in the air. I said it already. We've got people still bloody alive in here. Here's Johnny. Kaido presses against the door with his body and grabs the axe, peeking through the hole, back with his two hands. The man outside makes several attempts to pull the axe back in vain. I don't care who the hell you are. Get out of my sight or I'll have this axe in your brain. The axe wobbles a few times, and after a few heavy kicking sounds on the door, the man outside finally gives up. Their chaotic footsteps slowly growing quieter. Your hand, your fingers. Good thing that bandages are on the last thing we'll run in. Good thing that bandages are the last thing we'll run out of in a gym. But Delphine, we need to take inventory of all our resources again. I'll take down a couple of sandbags to reinforce our front door. These people, have they gone mad? The citizens of Northport Borough were all upstanding men, basically. What about the police? They were always so quick to write tickets. If I were a cock so unlucky as to make it out of this plate in time, I would definitely have locked myself in my home with my weapon at ready by now. I need to head over to the transport union later. The people here still trust Marshall. Hey, everyone, always listen to him. He'll find a way. Damn it, bloody hell, the sarcasm is still out there. These people are out of their minds. How could they? Wait, what should we do now? Hadel said we should have to wait. We just have to wait. An opportunity? Mr. Next academician. Are you aware of the Great Fire in Norport 15 years ago? Oh, yes. I've heard it was a port, if I recall. 24 hours, yeah. Is that all right? Couple of meals gone and humans will do anything. It doesn't actually take very much to burn down a port. All you need is scorching hot weather, a warehouse full of wood shavings, and a cigarette but not fully extinguished. No one can put out a fire like that. All we can do is watch everything burn to ashes. Unity is luxury. I'm going to assume it's going to be all civilians in the middle, right?
Everyone try to get along.
Yeah, okay.
I'm listening.
I'm listening.
Have time to get somebody else up there, or do we need to get somebody down? Probably gonna need to get... yeah. Blind video, eh?
Nothing can mask the scent of despair.
This could be a bit of a problem. This could, couldn't it? So oh yeah, they're counted as a block. They're counted as our block as well, yeah.
This execution is not worth witnessing.
Oh, I won't pay attention. I won't pay attention. Okay.
An arm, an eye, or maybe something else. More than enough to trade for a few enemy heads. Or would you rather bear the price of failure? Suit yourself.
Maybe get Fire watching first, because she can cover most of that, can't she? Yeah.
Miss Catapult. It's time to deploy.
No way, then we can have these. We can have these sussed out straight away, can't we?
Tis no wonder they never tire.
It's 20 hour. It's 20 hour max. Yeah, it is a fuck.
I'm listening.
Let's try and get these scanned early then.
Nothing can mask the scent of despair.
Please stop arguing.
Oh, we got a dodgy bastard here. Dodgy bastard, boys. We got a dodgy bastard. Right, let's get her in.
誤解なきを言っとくけど、戦場の匂いは別に好きじゃないから。
We had to ping both sides as well now, yeah. Ooh.
I know what to do. How to sink your corpse into shadow. No one will find it.
形態を変更中。真の像から湧き上がる。
Let me try and put that over there. Idiot. Okay. Alright. Alright, shit. Could have gone in there a little bit earlier, then we could have kept our little chainsaw chick alive. Should we Should get these healed up as well then, shall we?
Concentrate.
Oh, fuck yeah, we can't fucking heal. What's it coming? Fuck. Me forgot. Me forgot.
I know what you can't hide your fear. Support incoming.
冷静生から死へと遡れ
Hmm.
Your weapons are right at your fingertips. Why wait?
Oh, these fuckers.
I know what to do. I will sink your corpse.
耐えろ少しチクッとするかもしれない Look out, this spotlight. ああ自分の血でむせるなんてやめて
Had to wait, see what.
わかった
Still clipping him. Alright, we're right, we're right, we're right. We're good, we're good, we're good. We're cool. We're cool. Oh, no, we're not. Oh, fuck. I fucking hate these dudes as well. No! She got bound.
Look, Zaro, this spotlight shines on us.
Don't. You better lose your step.
滅ぼしそして許す
Your useless tricks will only make your death more miserable.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're alright, boys. We're alright, boys. Alright, then, lads, we're gonna have to do the old skipperuno. Come back to this on the next stream. So remind me. Next one, 12-4. We've got to do the post-stage story. But I have to dip, boys, because I've got to go and get Rosie from work. So thank you very much to everybody hanging out today, guys. Tomorrow we're going to do some Endfield, and we'll do some Arknights Thursday with some Endfield of Thursday. No, Wednesday with some Endfield of the evening. Thursday Arknights. And maybe Friday Arknights as well. That's the plan. So we can try and get a little bit more in. We yapped today. But yeah, next Arknight stream we're gonna lock in. Alright guys, so we'll get through a good few stages. I just got wrapped up in yapping about Endfield today. I can't help it, man. I just get excited talking about it, you know what I mean? Friday 8-hour Arknight stream. Over Christmas we'll have some longer streams because Rosie will be off work. So look out for some longer streams. And we need to get the release date for Endfield as well because Rosie needs to be booking a fucking week off, boys. Anyway, guys, appreciate you hanging out, man. I'll see you all later. I'll be in Discord anyway this evening because I'm going to be watching the football, so I'm probably going to be pissed off. So I'll be in the Discord later, guys. If you want to come chat, if you haven't already joined it, guys, definitely join it. It's a good time. It's a good time. It's a good time. Mostly people just bullying me, but you know, you can join in if you want. I'll catch you all later anyway, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you in the morrow. Have a good one, guys. Get up.